Oh yes, legends. How is everybody doing? Hope you're doing fantastic. Let's analyze the situation all together here for the price of Bitcoin. Make sure to absolutely destroy that like button on your way in, guys. Let's take a look at the charts all together, see what's going on. And first of all, let's go through the comment section, okay? No rush to jump in the 1 minute time frame. There's no rush, guys. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. I'm just going to double check here with the connections and everything. First of all, I have to say, eventually, this content is for educational purposes only, guys, not financial advice. The information provided is not guaranteed to be accurate or complete. Always conduct your own research before making any financial decision. Let's say hello to the absolute legends here in the comment section. See what's going on. Right. Has it been a good trading week? Good trading last few days? For me, it hasn't been the greatest. Hasn't been the greatest, guys. We need to be honest, okay? Need to be honest. Hasn't been extremely great. It's been okay. Been defensive. Got stopped out yesterday on a position, but also managed to make a quick profit. That was the bounce from the anchored VWAP. No rush short positions, but we continued dumping anyway. We'll talk about a little bit of the situation, and let's talk about the higher time frame. Let's just all get into a comfortable swing trade position, because my swing short position, I don't even want to talk about it because I just entered with a small position. It's the only active trade that I have from this 97k region, but I'm not even taking profits on this. This is like, I'm going to leave it just in case it is the high and we go down to 80k in the next coming weeks. But reversals are looking very, very interesting, guys. There's a potential long little scalp here to take out the highs. Stop loss beneath this low. You're entering late, basically, though. You're entering late. You're entering a little bit late, at least a 1-to-1 risk to reward based on this momentum. I can see Devil was talking about this on his stream, but this is naturally a three-wave structure after this rally. So the thing about entering a trade here, your invalidation needs to be this last higher low. You want to see a wave 3 popping up here. Okay, so you're literally entering a little bit late. The risk to reward is, you know, this could go to higher levels, but you're literally entering on the pump here, and that's your invalidation, and you're literally looking to take profit at the highs, and it might squeeze out, but the risk to reward is not that great. Okay, I have to say, risk to reward is not that great. This is when you are confirming. Obviously, you're not looking for a long position right now, but we'll go through the local scenarios right over here. Just because this was a very interesting move down, right? This is the move down that you want to see follow through. If it does not get follow through eventually, and you take out the lower highs, you got a three-wave basically, right? There's a three-wave move. And maybe if it gets a pullback, we'll have to see. Maybe if it gets a little pullback, we're gonna watch this now in the next coming minutes. But the only acceptable long here when you're looking at this, if you want to like join the move, you could arguably discuss this might get a bit of a corrective restructure, and we might get an opportunity to enter a long, unless you're rushing into the long literally here, which your stop loss needs to be here. You want to maintain this new possible local bullish market structure, at least to take out this high, which is very, very close. It's not giving you much risk to reward. When we do go through the higher time frames, you know, there's not that, you know, still counter trending, but a reversal is very much cooking, guys. Okay, I need to get organized with. We're going to go from higher time frame to lower time frame. I think, even though I just want to jump in on the 5-15 minute time frame, I swear down, I want to just jump in on what's happening here. I think it's the most interesting thing what we have, right? From the highs, how did we move down here? What are the waves? What are the support? We had another weekly level. That's literally where we're bouncing. I mean, I attempted the weekly bounce yesterday as well. The anchored VWAP bounce, but I took that one as a scalp, as mentioned on yesterday's stream, right? We were talking about this anchored VWAP and this SFP from this higher low at 90K. We bounced like $600-700 in and out. It's an in and out trade just on the reaction of that anchored VWAP. Right, moving away from Elliott wave theory just for that little scalp, which is the anchored VWAP, right, that we have from the lows, which we did get a little bounce yesterday. The bounce was $600-700. It was a mini bounce that we did get from the anchored VWAP here. Acceptable for a little scalp if you got into a sniper stop loss. 2-to-1. Run with your money. Right, you doubled, okay, 2-to-1, run away, right? And I took this trade as a runaway situation, right? But yeah, now it's trying to we're gonna try and identify where the heck we right now with this local move, which we are cooking for a reversal. Yesterday we were talking about that the 1 2 3 4 5 was invalidated because your wave 3 was the smallest wave, so we need to take into consideration either multiple 1-2s. However, as we extended to the downside here, yeah, I'm not considering this another wave 1. We have to connect this movement, obviously, with all of this price action. So wave 3, 4, 5, do we form a 4 now and we form the last 5th wave? We'll be building up the different scenarios. I have them ready for you here, guys, but we just continued rolling down, getting a bounce at the weekly. If you are aggressive with this 3-wave corrective move, which has a good chance of claiming this high, we're literally just very close to claim that high. These feel a little bit rushed trades. The ultimate confirmation level here to confirm that this is a 3-wave move down is literally claiming this lower high. If the 3rd wave fails and you claim this zone, it's likely that this is a 3-wave correction and you have a good chance that you might reach these highs, you know, in the next coming hours. Anyway, this does look a little bit like an impulse. We're going to be eyeing this. Okay, let's see if we do get a pullback, because it does look, I mean, it could be a little 5-waver. Let's see if we do get something similar where we get a 3-wave move, right? We don't claim this low. Same scenario as this, right? We get the movement. It's going to be time to get into some longs before it reverses. But let's get the information first throughout the next coming minutes. Anyway, we'll be breaking all of that down, guys, in throughout the stream. Let's go through the comment section. I feel like I'm just waffling here and just not talking nonsense, right, without going straight to the point. Let's go right away through the comment section. Okay, there's time. No rush. We don't need to go through the 1-minute time frame. We ain't looking for a quick little scalp. I want to talk about a little bit of higher time frame scenarios. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Okay. Much love, legend. Let's go through the comment section. This is gonna be a long stream, guys. It's gonna be at least 3 hours. We're going to keep it long. We're going to, you know, New York Open right now as well happening. And we have time to get some stuff ready. Okay. Much love. Nico Soapy, how are you doing, my man? Much love to you. DDR5. Hello, Andy. Still feeling depressed about that 0382 fib miss at 98. Missed the limit order by $25. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, right? I also wanted to go in heavy in this short, just to be positioned, realizing that it is a swing short territory regardless, right? We were talking about, can we claim the high again or not, right? But guys, we just, right, really pushing it here to the limit. And sometimes you just need to take a little shot here on the short, give a bit of room just in case you claim the highs again. Then you're looking for the double top. But we missed the 382 Fibonacci by a hair, which is the Sterlinger. it is actually quite disturbing that we missed the 382 Fibonacci here by a hair from all-time high to the low. You know, it would have been nice to touch that as well. It is disturbing that it was not hit. And 382 is very much a minimum target zone to be hit from a major wave. So anyway, we'll break down the higher time frame as well throughout the stream here. But I get it, man. I get it. I'm a little bit pissed off as well, because we were talking about this last week for a few days, saying, guys, you know, we're getting to the last stages here. You know, this pullback is likely going to happen, right? It's going to happen, taking out the highs or not, right? We are looking for the pullback here, based on the extension, based on the waves that we have here. The overall question was, do we have another 4 or 5? You know, if you want, just position yourself, have a bit of room for stop loss. If you take out the high again, then you add to the position, right? Which now that did not happen. Now I need to wait for the impulse, and I need to wait for the correction to add aggressively and get into new positions to see if we are going to come down to 80k, right? So we're gonna have to go level by level and be a little bit patient here to really go heavy on that short. I'm not taking profit because for me this is not worth it. It's a good, this has the potential of being the high, and we continue rolling over, right? Very, very similar to what we did see back in the day. Let's see if this wants to load. Apparently not. Back in the day here, right? This was the high back in March, April of 2022, right? And we did move down aggressively in the next few months. So, you know, I'm labeling it as a swing trade short, that if I can add to that position to make it heavy, we can get to new ones maybe in the next coming days as a short. We just need that corrective structure to the upside on the higher time frame to really say, right, guys, you know, this is the moment that we want to go heavy, because taking out the lows at $80,000 would be will be high probability. But we're gonna have to remain a little bit patient here, right? And analyze the bounces and the moves. Anyway, let's go through the comment section. Nico Supi, much love to everybody. What's up, legends? Full port, Najim, legend, Knack, Zach. Sorry, what do I mean about Knack? Zach, much love. Game over. Yes, it is. Devilt, the legend. I was just talking about you about the stream. Was watching the stream here with this local move. It does look very corrective naturally, with that good chance that we could take this high or form a larger correction, right? And then maybe take out the lows. We'll see. But overall, the move down confirmed 3-wave structure with this pump that we had, right, throughout the last hour or so. So yeah, first correction down by the looks of things here, that has the chance to take out the highs. So we will be analyzing that. Devil, much love to you. Beth Maria Vallejos, Trump is speaking at Davos right now. Yeah, let's see. Easy short before New York Open. Well, we are pumping a little bit. I think those highs, local highs, could be taken. Volatility could be in. It could indeed. See Marpy, swing short on S&P 500 and Nasdaq stocks are gonna tank. Maybe. Love this, Devil. Andy Tag, team streams. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Much love to you. Cute dog. Andy Devil sandwich is pretty nice. We must dive down onto the 1 second for the dump. Yes. Let's get it. Go to Andy. Eddie, much love. Thank you very much for joining. This content is to make money. No financial advice. Andy, I see a possible short entry at 88.9k, 89.2k. Stop loss at 90k-ish. TP1, 87, 86. Right, yeah, I see a potential short at higher levels. We're going to talk about that. That's mainly a day trade to swing trade. The only big major zone of interest for me at the moment at least the first one, is this area right over here. We'll explain that on stream. Or going to lower levels or claiming the lows. We got a monthly naked point of control down there at 87.5k region. It's literally the point of control of the entire range, right, that we do have. You can also get that on the fixed volume profile when we zoom out with the entire range, you know, since November, which is how we do get that big high volume node on the chart, right? This one right over here, literally a monthly naked point of control at 87.5k region, the highest volume node of this range. Okay, I know on Binance, on some other exchanges, it might be here. That's the second highest volume node. But yeah, we got a big one right there. This is literally from this range, so it's a monthly naked point of control from December. Big level. And if we are in a wave 4 formation here, then naturally the wave 5 is going to be interesting. And I do believe we are in... I'm taking out the multiple 1-2s at the moment because we didn't get a bounce. This is extremely extended. We need to fit in a third wave here somewhere. It needs to be fitted in. Volume did get increased throughout the move down when we zoom out on the 4 hourly, so we do have an increase in volume. So that is good. That is good. That means that, you know, we have a wave 3 fitted here somewhere. Now it's overall the wave 4-5 and potentially the bigger bounce, right? Coming into this huge level of support from the range. So naturally, it makes sense looking for longs, okay? Don't get bearish down here. Don't look for shorts down here. I mean, if we get these bounces at resistance zones and it makes sense that it looks corrective and we're hitting resistance for a wave 4 to then roll over in a wave 5, then yeah, I would say we can get into a day trade short, right? But it makes sense to start looking for swing longs here, right? Day trade to swing longs could last a few days. So we ain't getting bearish down here. Okay, at least for the next coming days. We're really looking for those solid bounces to happen at some point. And we're going to discuss them. We are going to discuss them eventually. We're going to fit in Elliott Wave. We're going to fit the confluence zones and what makes more sense here for the next trading opportunity. I mean, yesterday it was, I mean, not the best. Not the best. We only got that little bounce from that anchored VWAP. I mean, I had no trade set up here for a short. I cannot short down here. I have to say, I can't short these movements down. Yesterday, there was only a little scalp long. Treat it as a scalp. Make a 2-to-1 risk reward. The only short that I could have taken yesterday was explained. We need to take out these lower highs. We need to form some kind of a correction. And treat this as another wave 1-2, 1-2, right? And then maybe roll over. I couldn't short down here. But if you would have shorted and put a stop loss here, you would be okay, right? So, but anyway, we only had a scalp long on yesterday's stream at the anchored VWAP, which it's a profitable trade. We said, you know, if you take it as a scalp, make a 2-to-1 risk reward, get out. So hopefully today we are going to find, it's going to be 3 hours of stream. So it's going to be my job to look for a decent trade, unless we're going to range and not move out of this zone. So hopefully we do get that volatility. We do squeeze up to levels of resistance or levels of support. And we'll analyze the local move because there might be a little, I can't take a short here. I can't. When we get so close to this lower high and we confirm that this is a 3-wave move, I can't short where we're at the moment. If anything, you know, get a quick squeeze long here, which is not the greatest. Your invalidation is this pivot, this higher low. So I cannot fit a short here at the moment. It goes against my rules. Likely that we could take out this high, and then once we take out this high, we could analyze the momentum to the upside and the levels of resistance to see if we're going to roll over and you know, where we could look for the short. Short needs to be from higher. Okay, so let's we got time. We're just here. Okay, we got time. Quick hello to the people. All right, smash up the like button. Daniel Singleton, CBM 3 hour lovely. Smash the like. Crypto Bamatia, much love. Go and check out this dude because this dude knows what he's talking about. He's in a huge short position. He's been bragging about it. I play tennis with him and he's been bragging. He said, I'm going in heavy already. And I'm like, you know, I'm not sure if we're going to test the highs. And I'm talking about all of this Elliott wave theory and this might be corrective and the rest of it. I entered a very small position and he's bragging, you know, with 10 times more profit than myself. And I'm like, okay, it's okay, man. You win. All right. He wins me at tennis. He's winning me in trading this week. And what can I say? CBM, go and check him out, guys. His channel is here. Crypto by Mattia. Go and check him out. He's an absolute legend. Not sure if he's around anymore. He probably doesn't want to hear all this Elliott wave nonsense. And he's pissed off. Screw this guy on YouTube with all of these waves. He's going to just make me more confused. Keep it simple. BTC appears to be in a wave 5. Impulse decline from the local top. Nice. Naive, we'll be going through a few of these scenarios, okay? Much love to CBM. Be profitable with him, guys. Yeah, he's good. He's very, very good. He gets into mainly swing trades, which I do as well. I like scalping. I like day trading. I try and get into heavy swing trades, but he's a very, very good swing trader, I have to say. He's long from the bottom at $80,000, $82,000, I think. And he's short from 97K range with big funds, big funds, big money. And I'm swing trading, looking for day trading. We're looking for scalps. Yesterday we had a little scalp. It's all valid, right? It's all valid as long as you can manage risk, get in, get out, right? So yeah, I do a bit of combination of everything, guys. We are scalping, day trading, or swing trading, right? And today we're going to look for a day trade. Much love to you, CBM. Andy, much love. Dem Media, much love to you. I'm definitely not a scalper. Swings are my go-to. Yes, sir. Definitely. He's long from 82K and short from 97K. So with big profits, I'm jealous. You're going to have to pay breakfast and tennis next day. I'm doing good. Ox the Doctor, much love to you. Okay, so hello to everybody. I'll go through the comment section later on. Smash up that like button as I do take a drink of water and go around the table, guys. Let's get that like button to at least over 200 in the next coming minutes. I need to get a drink of water, guys. I'm feeling dry around the table at the moment. Let's get at least above 100 and then we'll go through the different scenarios here on the price of Bitcoin. We'll have to do a little bit of higher time frame, okay? Little bit of higher time frame and discuss, do the bulls have a chance? Do the bulls have a chance to take out 98K again here, short in the short term? And I have to say they do, but it's not looking pretty. It makes more sense to look for 80K when we consider higher time frame structure, Elliott wave analysis, and obviously the general sentiment worldwide, right, which is quite bearish. Smash up the like. Okay. We are ready to do the higher time frame and we'll do comment section later on. All right, a bit higher time frame, but mainly this range, okay? Mainly this momentum to the upside, because I have to say higher time frame, I am not happy. I'm not happy for this to be a wave 4. This scenario right over here, I'm not happy for this, I have to say. When we consider Elliott wave theory, this would be the only way that I could have to fit a possible unfinished impulse from all-time high. This has to be a wave 2. And this wave 3 would have to be an expanding fifth wave. Okay, inside of your third wave, you would have to have an expanding fifth wave, right? There's just no other way to literally count this. And the problem with your wave 4 at the moment here, I don't think that we are moving down in an impulse. I think that this is a 3-wave correction, 3-wave corrective structure. That doesn't mean that this is the low, okay? It just means that it's a 3-waver, right? Because you could have a 3-wave move to the downside, a 3-wave up, and a 3-wave zigzag down in a WXY, right? And you do go to 70, 60K in the next coming months, very much. But it's good because it tells you that we are unlikely forming an impulsive move to the downside on the higher time frame from all-time high. Something that is very, very curious as well, which is channeling elite wave theory. When you connect the start of your wave 1 and your wave 2 to the end of your wave 1, it is common for your wave 4 to top out in the lower part of the channel and then get your wave 5. That's a very strong impulse. You don't usually, it's not an invalidation, but you do not, very uncommon for your wave 4 to spit out from the topper line of the channel. This channel is taken from your wave 1 start to your wave 2 to the end of wave 1. We were already in doubt that we were forming a wave 4 many weeks ago when we were at this zone. It's like, this ain't looking too good for a wave 4, and we're actually favoring taking out the highs here at some point. So when you do take a look at timing as well, it is a little bit extended in time, this wave 4, compared to your wave 1, compared to your wave 2, sorry, right? You're comparing the corrective structure. It is more than 5 times longer, okay? You can see how we have 382 time, 1 to 1. After in between 1 to 1 and the 4 to 1 in time is okay. This is where it gets pink and then it gets red, right? Red is bad, no bueno. So it's a bit extended. This is almost 6 times longer than your wave 2, which is not nice. It's not nice. It obviously lowers the probability that we are looking for a wave 5 to follow through here. All right. When you connect all the timing, Fibonacci, channeling, and you connect the probability things, right, to understand an impulse or a correction, when you put everything together here, the channeling, we spitting out the top of the channel, okay? Usually your wave 3 breaks the channel, which it did, and then it tops out in your wave 4 at the mid-range of the channel and then forms the wave 5. You don't suddenly range out and spit out of the channel. That means that this wave is likely completed. It's a different wave. And this is why you can't fit in nicely a 5-wave impulse down here in a solid way. It needs to be a 3-waver, because you got this wave, you got this wave, right? And you got this wave. That's not possible. Your wave 3 is smaller. So it has to be some kind of a 3-wave move. Has to be some kind of 3-wave move, which we'll get to the different scenarios right away. There's time to go through the lower time frame. We will look for a day trade setup for today. Don't worry, guys. We'll get to that later on. Let's get some people joining in. You know, we're analyzing here the probabilities as for the impulse higher time frame, just understanding where we are in the market a little bit. All right, so we got above the channel. Your wave 4 is over 5 times longer than your wave 2, right? It's fine to be twice the length. It is normal for a wave 4 to be longer than your wave 2, but not 6 times, right? It's common to be twice the length of wave 2. Even 3 times longer is kind of okay, but not 4, not 5 or 6, right? Which is this is a individual wave. I have no doubt about it. This is something different. It's nothing got to do with this movement down. Okay, and that's what's important, right? When you understand the rules, guidelines, and regulations here. Not regulations, the rules and guidelines of edit wave theory, and probabilities are actually pretty damn low that this would be a wave 4 based on timing, based on the channeling. So it's not something that we're looking at here for this to be a wave 4. Now, it's not an invalidation. Your real invalidation would be coming up to the golden pocket. Literally, it is where it's overlapping your wave 1. So we'll consider it, but even though it's low probability, right? We'll see how the waves develop on the higher time frame if we go lower, and we'll take it into consideration as we go, because yeah, if we form a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and 5, then, you know, if we move like this throughout the next coming weeks, then we might pull it out and we'll say, okay, you know, guys, maybe it is, you know, a 5 wave move down. Until that doesn't happen, I'm not considering it. I do believe that this is something completely different that is forming at the moment. And you may ask, well, if it's not this impulsive move down, right, what is it, right? What do we have? Well, we do have the 3-wave structure, basically, right? And the 3-wave structure is literally this one right over here. This box where we have it, what we have in the green, is where we formed either a WXY or a running flat, okay? Movement down in your A wave. Sideways correction, range correction basically, and then the leg down that was impulsive in your wave C. So we got a 3-wave move to the downside here. When you have a 3-wave move to the downside, you have the potential of having the low in, and all-time high it is, right, in the next coming months. But the reality is very different. The problem is this movement to the upside. It looks like crap. It looks very corrective. So naturally, what we've been labeling this as the highest probability scenario is a WXY. Okay, very corrective. The bullish scenario would have to be a contracting diagonal in a wave 1, right? Your wave 2 also extremely messy. But overall, leading contracting diagonal, wave 1. Now this is another wave 1. We were already losing hope for all of this, even from here, right? So now we have this scenario, which we talked about it in the last couple of videos, right? Wave 1, ABC flat. You know, this is just to get something bullish on the chart, just to maybe consider something bullish, but it's low probability. It's like really trying to find something bullish developing here, but I can tell you already that this is low probability that we form a higher low here and we start mooning up here in a wave 3 in the next 1 to 2 weeks. It's just not even worth talking about it until we get an impulsive move up first on the lower time frame. Then we might consider, okay, bullish scenario is this one, but low probability for this. Low probability, okay, on the higher time frame, just because a leading diagonal on its own is a low probability, okay, wave 1. So when we consider, okay, well, you got a 3-wave down, the movement up is not looking bullish. You know, what are the scenarios? Well, we're literally looking at all of this movement down to potentially be a wave W. And what comes next then, right? We do have the possibility. We have a possibility of your wave X being in a WXY with the scenario that was just explained, right? This one right over here. A wave X can be a complex WXY, which is basically what we've been forming, a very corrective move to the upside. And then we have our Y wave, which is the last wave that we are looking for, right, in this cycle, which could take several months. Maybe your wave X is not in yet. Okay, maybe this has the potential of extending. We'll go through the 4-hourly time frame and explain why there is a chance, as we've swept most of the liquidity to the downside, there is a little bit more, but it could take out the highs again, get to 100k, 102k, and test that beloved 50 weekly moving average at 100k level, right? And then go down. There is a scenario on the 4-hourly time frame, and if there is a scenario, we need to talk about it. But the idea here is maybe your wave X is in. If your wave X is in, and this is on the daily time frame, guys, this is going to take a few months to develop. Maybe a double zigzag could be on the formation here. We are in the 4-year cycles theory bear market zone, right? So we got the 3-wave structure down, your wave X, and potentially we could be forming your double zigzag here, right? Your last zigzag move that takes out 70k and maybe even 60k in the next couple of months, right? Till we bottom out at some stage. This could develop in many, many months. It might not look like this. It might look like this, and then like this. But we're looking for some kind of a zigzag on the higher time frame. This, for the moment, stands with the highest probability, just based on the information that we have from all-time high to this low to this high. As we fix the structure with the movement down and movement up, the only main scenario that we have is a sharp zigzag move to the downside in the coming months. Bear market continuation. And it's actually quite interesting because the way this price action has moved, so similar to that price action in Q1 of 2022. We're talking about 4 years ago, right? 4-year cycle theory. That's where we get it. You know, this price action is extremely, extremely similar to the one that we have in the last few months, right? It's when you put it together, you squeeze it in a little bit, it's almost picture perfect. We went lower eventually here. I just copied a little bit of the downtrend, but this actually went lower. So, you know, for the moment, this has priority on the higher time frame. You know, if you ask me, I would say there is a very, very good chance to take out 80k and go lower in the next couple of months on the higher time frame with the information that we have. With this information, it's like, you know, I cannot be bullish. I cannot say that we're going to go to all-time high this year. I can say that we could get to 100k zone because there is a scenario that maybe this hasn't finished, right? There is a chance for it to be finished, but there's a chance that it might not be finished and it stretches out from the highs in the next few weeks. So we'll talk about that, okay, as well now on the next time frame, which is the 4-hour time frame. But based on this, you know, this is what we got at the moment, right? Based on the information that we have on the chart, right? So that's a little bit of the higher time frame perspective when we consider Elliott wave theory, right? Despite all of the support and resistance, the structure. So yeah, anyway, we'll move on. This Y wave could be something different, but we ain't gonna go through that. For the moment, the double zigzag, bear market, 4-year cycle theory, we go lower. It makes more sense at the moment. This Y wave could be something completely different. It could actually be a flat where you move down in a 3-wave structure, 3-wave up, and then you zigzag down. You form a big flat scenario here, and then you move up. But we ain't gonna go down that rabbit hole. No need for that. There's no need for that. So we'll leave that for another stream. So zooming in on the 4-hourly time frame, we are getting a little pump trying to get those highs. There's a high probability to take out those highs right over here, based on what happened here. I could see Devil was talking about this on his stream. You know, you want to see follow through on your 3rd wave. You don't want to see your 3rd wave fail and take out these lower highs, that means that this is likely a three waver and that you could actually pump. When you consider a long trade here, your invalidation is this high or low. You're taking a long, literally, you know, as you take out these highs, the risk reward is not great. When you consider take out at least the highs, it's a 1-to-1. Stop loss needs to be your last high or low, because if you move up here in a three waver, you know, and you could take out this low, you don't want to be in that long position anymore. You want to get out. It's a stop loss. 1-to-1 risk reward, with the potential of being a 2-to-1, 3-to-1, right? Because maybe this squeezes out nicely in the next coming hours, right? So, you know, it's a probability setup, right? It's a probability setup. You know, you got high probability in taking out the highs as soon as you get these highs, this lower high basically. So the only thing that this might be the start of a major, bigger move up. That's the only good thing about it. But you're literally, you know, your TP1 is here. It's a 1-to-1 risk reward. So it's kind of almost not worth getting into this position, because you're literally taking 50% off the table, right? And it's just not the greatest entry, and not the greatest risk reward. It's a probability scenario, right? You take out this high, then it's, you know, there's a high probability that this is a three-way structure that has a good chance to take out this high. So, you know, you need to understand that you need to have an invalidation eventually. That would be your last high or low, because if you form a three-wave move here and you move down, then maybe you're forming a leading diagonal to the downside, right? Which is developed with 3, 3, 3, 3. So you just need to manage risk, right? But they're not the greatest entry zones that I like here. It's just realizing the probability setup. Of course, this has the potential of squeezing up higher. That's the good thing, you know, right? Got free trade, took most of the profit, gonna leave a little runner here to see if we do push out to higher levels. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We are here to go through the 4 hourly. Just interesting here, as mentioned, you know, not interested in any shorts here, because there's a good chance we take out this high. Am I interested in a double top here? Not that interested here in a double top, if I'm honest. Sorry guys, yeah, I mean, just I'm changing from the 4 hourly to the 15-minute. Yeah, 1-to-1 extension to the 1-2-3-6 is very the most common area eventually for your C wave, at least. So a double top here is not the greatest for a short. We need to squeeze up a little bit more, and then 90.7k is starting to be interesting. This area is very, very interesting. We'll get to that right now. I'll set some alerts, okay, to see if we do get up there while I'm doing the 4 hourly time frame, and then it might just fit in nicely to the 15-minute, and we get to cover as we're getting to the interest zone and really analyze the local time frame. But no shorts interested here on this bounce. We need to get a higher. This needs to be having at least a 1-to-1 to the 1-2-3-6 extension for a possible ABC, and come into the interest zone, which is this one, this order block. It is an order block on the higher time frame. So we'll get to that in a minute. Let's cover the 4 hourly time frame. And finish scenario. WXY double zigzag. Zigzag up, complex correction, zigzag up. WXY. This movement down looks impulsive for the moment, unless we were to get a massive rally and hit certain levels, then we'll talk about that. But for the moment, it looks impulsive. It looks an unfinished impulsive move, because where we have the highest amount of volume and the biggest move with very shallow correction is this one here. That's the biggest move that we have. So we need to fit in a 1, 2, 3, right? And are we developing the 4 and then the 5? You know, that's what we are looking for at the moment. Developing a wave 4 and then a wave 5. On the 1 hourly time frame, we'll be covering this zone right over here. Okay, we will be covering this zone over here. But for the moment, this is what we're looking at. Good potential that the high is in. Okay, as in coming down to claim $80,000 maybe in the next coming weeks. So is there another scenario where the price in the next 1 to 2 weeks pushes all the way up to get above to $98,000? And what is interesting is we are built, you know, most of the liquidity, right? We got below 89. We actually tapped into the 87K zone. We had lots of liquidity up there, and all of that's been swept up very, very nicely. Okay, let's see if CoinGlass wants to load here. But yeah, we literally swept a lot of liquidity below 89K, part of 87K, right? So most, I would say most of that liquidity has been swept, and there's liquidity being built up right now. Lots of people, right, really, really happy to jump into shorts. Lots of liquidations at 93, 94. And there's a lot of liquid shorts, you know, piling up eventually. So we want to consider that extreme bullish reversal. You know, is it possible that a V-shape recovery here to take out plus 98K in the next 1 to 2 weeks? You know, is it realistic with the market conditions? Remember, right, when fear comes into the market and the news, Greenland tariffs, Iran this, the other, right? That's when, you know, it's happened, right? We've got the movement down. It's already happened. Remember that when news kicks in and fear kicks in and prices are dropping, you know, that's most of the times is, you know, that's it. We're looking for a bounce very, very soon, right? It's already happened. That's all. That's, you know, old news. So is this possible, like a very, very strong recovery? I have to say it is possible, but we would need a pretty damn strong first leg to the upside till that, you know, and then I would consider that scenario. This bullish scenario, so I am favoring that the local top is in here, higher time frame top is in, but there is a scenario where maybe it's not in, and maybe you need to flip your A wave here, flip your B wave here, and flip your C wave here. And you might be thinking, well, what the heck is that? Why are you doing that? Why are you flip-flopping your Elliott wave, you know, scenarios here? Because you moved up from this low. This is a triangle, there's no doubt about it. There's nothing here as a wave 1, wave 2. This is all BS. There's no bullish structure and an impulse and a correction here. Forget about it. It's a triangle. It's a complex correction. And this is where the wave starts. So when you see this 3-wave move to the upside, and the possibility that for the moment we have a 3-wave to the downside here, because it would be nice to get a 4 and a 5 to confirm a higher time frame impulse from the highs of last week. But you know, the biggest correction really in this range is this one over here, right? This is the longest one. This is a very small one, so you can fit a pretty aggressive 3-wave move down. In an ABC flat, you need to at least touch the 90%, the 0.9 Fibonacci, at least, from your A wave. Your A wave, remember, starts from here, because this is a triangle. This wave starts from here. In an A wave, of a flat, you need a 3-wave structure. So you got it right over here. You know, it is there. The B wave needs to be a 3-wave structure. You can fit a very aggressive 3-wave structure, very aggressive C wave, going, you know, over the 2-to-1 extension from your A wave. Alert set, coming into a major interest zone. Well, not yet, but still pushing up. Someone said great zone to short. Not yet. Not yet down here. There's a good chance to take out this high. ABC at least gets to the 1-to-1, you know, most of the times. And even stretching out to the 1, 2, 3, 6 is the common area, common zone, right? We like common things. So let it push to the limit and come to levels of resistance, which it might. Now in the next coming minutes, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6, not reaching quite yet. There is a little order block right there, as you can see, on the 4-hourly. So that little stop that we had here yesterday, it is an order block right there. That's an interesting zone to reject from. Let it stretch its legs a little bit to the 1, 2, 3, 6, and it might dance around here a little bit. Previous day, value area high is also sitting in that zone. Previous day, value area high. Good zone of resistance based on confluence. Previous day, value area high. With the 4-hourly order block, with the 1, 2, 3, 6 extension. Will it be a 3-waver and we roll over? It does have a chance. Set some alerts here ever so slightly below the 1, 2, 3, 6. Not in a rush. Let it push a little bit. Anyway, we'll go through, continue with the 4-hourly. And then we'll zoom in on the 15-minute, guys. Okay, we'll get something ready. We'll get something ready. Bear with me here. Where were we? Oh yeah, the bullish case scenario locally, which would be for the next 1 to 2 weeks. As explained, that there is technically a way that we could actually have a flat in your wave Y instead of the zigzag here. Wave Y, I mean, it's still not terribly longer than your wave W. It would still be acceptable. Let's just take a look at the timing here. Obviously, if it is going to be, yeah, it still has a lot of time. Still has a lot of time. You know, this is where it will be worrying. 4 times longer. Your wave Y is 4 times longer than your wave W. That's when it would be worrying. So a flat here has a lot of time. It only just crossed the 1-to-1. It's 1.5 times longer right now. It could be twice or 3 times longer. That's okay. And this is coming to the end of February, where we would have doubts eventually for this scenario. But we're very, very good with timing here for a flat formation on your wave Y. We're just talking the bullish case, and I'll explain when the bullish case would become attractive. Is if this low remains, if this is the low at 87.8k, and the price manages to reach from this lower high, because we are considering this little move here to the downside, right? Could it be a 3-wave structure? Let me just turn this orange and very small, just so it's not in the way. What we're looking for right now is here 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? Take out the lows and obviously look for that bigger bounce in the next coming weeks, right? Can we form a lower high in the next coming days? That lower high for the wave 4 if we're considering this a wave 2 instead of a wave B, we need to reject in between the 382 and the 50% Fibonacci where we have that 4-hourly order block. So, I mean, this order block right there is the rejection zone between 90.7, 91.6K. Give or take a few $100. The invalidation for your wave 4 is the golden pocket sitting at 92.6K. So this is really the zone where the price should really roll over if we're considering a potential impulsive move down. If the price manages to stretch in the next couple of days, which I'm not favoring, I have to say, but who knows? If we do not claim the low and we hit the golden pocket in a rally in the next coming days, then this would be the main scenario that I would be looking at. And, you know, we would be looking for the wave 1 being developed here. So naturally, some kind of a corrective move has to appear, because the C wave has to be a 5 wave to the upside when we consider the ABC flat. And that would be finishing finally the WXY coming into the 102K zone, which would be the most epic short position. Hopefully we get big into that one, because this one was very, very small for me as a swing short. So yeah, that's a little bit of the higher time frame. I'm not counting on this. The moment this is going to be looking very, very interesting, that your Y wave does form a flat. Hang on a minute. Just want to take a look a minute at the extension. I mean, it's, you know, that 100K level is so nice. So nice. It would be so damn nice. I really don't mind, because my short is very, very small. And I wouldn't mind not even taking profits from that short position that I have here, because it was a small position for me, and wanted to go in heavy on this one, but it didn't happen. So couldn't care less if it gets stopped out. It's not money that I'm willing to ride this to 80K and 70K if needed, so it can be some decent profits for me. But the only moment that I would consider that this is going to possibly happen is once we hit the golden pocket and this local low remains that we formed yesterday night or early this morning at 87.6K, right, or 87.7. If this low remains and we manage to stretch our legs to 92.5, then this could be something. This could, and we need to identify some kind of a bullish impulsive move all the way up there. Right, ideally we do figure out that there is a 5-wave move up here into this territory, and then, you know, this would be looking for swing longs again to take up this high. So we'll figure that out eventually with the information, if it is going to be given. I'm not leaning on this scenario, but it is a setup that could happen, and we could identify in the next coming days if that is going to be the case, that we do squeeze out to 92.5K. Then we're going to start thinking of, I'm going to start thinking of, right, we're looking for a higher low in this region to jump into that 5-wave move up, right? Everybody's surprised and like, what the heck is going on, right? I thought we were bearish with all of this, you know, Greenland tariff and all the uncertainty, right? 4-year cycles theory, bear market. This is a bear flag, right? We should be breaking down, and then you just squeeze up again to hit the highs. and get to 100K, right? It's just I know this is really getting people on their nerves, right? It's like, whoa, we're going down, no, we're going up, no, we're going down, no, we're going up, no, we're going, and it's just, there is another chance for that, but we need to hit the golden pocket, and this low needs to remain. I'm not counting on it, but if we do get that pivot level, I'm going to start thinking in swing longs to take out this high. Okay, because we're looking for a 5-wave move up. That would be an A wave in a 3-wave structure, a B wave in a 3-wave structure. 0.9 Fibonacci has been hit, the minimum target for the flat. I cannot long aggressively this until I identify the wave 1, and the wave 2 is the one that I want to jump in, because I want to get into the 3 and 4 and 5, right? Take out these highs. So this is just an imagination. This is like dreaming, right? This is like, we don't know if it's going to happen. We can understand where the probabilities change and where we can identify this for a swing trade, right? I know how to identify it. This is basically how we're explaining the waves and the levels and Fibonacci and how the structure could literally change. But it's a bit of wishful thinking to believe that it's going to happen from this point. From this point, the highest probability naturally is, you know, this is finished. Okay, for the moment, based on what we have on the chart. So, but it's possible, and what is possible we talk about. So let's move forward with, I think it was time for a bit of a higher time frame update, guys. We try and do it once or twice a week. I think it's important. I get some comments sometimes of, do a bit of higher time frame. Where are we at? What are we looking at? Because I know we like to look at 15-minute and 1 hour and 15-minute and look for intraday setups. But we'll move forward into that right now. But higher time frame is very much needed to try and map the situation and when probabilities change for the bears and for the bulls, and what's highly likely at the moment. If you ask me, it is highly likely that what we are forming is an impulse. We're in the middle end stages of an impulse, and that we would find follow through in the next coming weeks to take out $80,000. Things can only change if this low remains at the moment and we take out 92.5K, which is the invalidation for your wave 4. As that, you know, as long as that doesn't happen, then we are looking for lower. We are looking for the rollover in the next coming weeks, with the possibility of taking out 80K and maybe even going to lower prices. So that's what stands right now as what we have on the chart. And we need to trade the chart that we have, right? Not the one that we want. I think we need to, yeah, that's basically it. There's nothing, yeah, well, let's talk about the very, very wishful thinking, right? Is there still a chance for big movements to the upside, to 110 and 120 and all-time high? Probabilities are extremely low for that situation. Leading diagonal for your wave 1. Already low probability as it stands. Your next wave 1 has to be this one. This is a big fat mess. There's no wave 1 here. This is a bunch of crap. This is all part of a complex corrective structure. And your initial impulse starts from here. And we have a big problem with this right now, because as it stands right now, we have a 3-wave move. In an ABC flat, you need a 5-wave move to the downside. It can be countered nicely. It cannot be countered nicely with what we have for the last few days. So when we consider, is there a chance? I mean, the chance is very, very small. You know, it's like not even worth talking about. But We like to talk about it, right? Because sometimes the lowest probability scenarios, somebody pointed that out today in the Telegram. Devil said, guys, when you talk about the low probability scenarios, you know, sometimes they play out. They do sometimes, right? Even though it's low probability, they can play out. But if we are going to be forming a wave 1 here and an ABC flat for your wave 2, holy smokes, you know, we are literally coming all the, you know, we hit the 0.9 Fibonacci. This is, you know, extremely rare for a wave 2, and you can't fit in a 5-wave move to the downside. So you can get that 5-wave move up in the next coming weeks. I would really not consider this scenario. I would consider the scenario that was just covered 5 minutes ago, right? Which would be that ABC flat, and just a great opportunity. It kind of, you know, it does. I kind of like the flat scenario here to finish your Y wave, because we still have so much time if we are in the 4-year cycle theory that I feel like we should bottom out in Q4 of 2026, right, of this year. Roundabout, right? Summer choppiness, bit of local volatility, but I feel that if we roll down already here, you know, will there be time for that zigzag to complete throughout Q4? I mean, we still have a lot of time, and I think it would be nice to get a bit of bullish hopium to then, you know, nuke down, right, throughout Q2 of this year. It would be nice, actually, but it, you know, shorts really should be the main idea if the price does manage to stretch to 100 to 102k zone. It really will. It really would. So anyway, this scenario is literally not nice at all. It's not pretty. It's just leading diagonal is, you know, the lowest probability motive wave in a wave 1, and you need to figure out something impulsive after this correction. And this is a 3-waver, so it has to be a flat, and you need to defend that higher low, which is at 87.1k, I think, right, which is where your wave 1 starts. This is not, you know, coming down to the 0.9 Fibonacci. ABC flat here for your wave 2 is just not something that I am looking at all. So it is possible, but the probabilities are very, very low for this. Okay, that doesn't mean we cannot rally. I prefer the other corrective structure as explained, that ends up in a flat, right, for your wave Y, but we just mention it because. So now, most importantly, what do we have from the movement to the downside? Smash up the like button, legends. Now this is where we get into the meat and potatoes, right? This is where we get into what the heck is going on, what stage are we in right now. And I'm going to keep it simple. If this volume has increased on the higher time frame, coming down, okay, let's get this out of the way. We don't need that now. Volume has increased on the latest move that we've had in the last couple of days, right? Bigger move, high volume. We want to fit a wave 3 here of some kind. Okay. Now the question is, are we developing the wave 4? Right? To roll over in the next 1 to 2 days to take out the low again and finish an impulse. And it's interesting, right? When the biggest moves have happened already, right? Looking for shorts right now is okay, as long as you have an invalidation, okay? Risk to rewards are not going to be that great, because when you have the big move already happened, you're really speculating on the last leg to the downside before a bigger bounce happen, right? Potentially. So then only roll that down later on, but still. Your invalidation, keeping it in very, very simple terms, because I mean, the other day we were speculating of this being a wave 4, right? We talked about an invalidation here. If you want to enter here, you've got a little room to enter to take out the lows. If this is something similar, but in the bigger picture, where we would have to see this as a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Your invalidation is the 92.6k level for your wave 4. You can look for shorts in this territory as a swing. As a day trade swing, it might take a couple of days to develop, to claim the low. The move is ferocious. You have the possibility of the wave 3 and a wave 4 getting developed. And your proper hard invalidation, if you're looking to enter, in this pump at the order block 382 or 50% SFP of the lower high, whatever, your invalidation is the golden pocket. And your target, your main target is the low, right? I mean, depending on if you can catch the highest level possible. On the higher time frame, this is what you have when we consider rules, regulations, guidelines. This is what you have. It could be a shorting zone, could be a target zone. First target, regardless if wave 5 is going to be explosive or not, but you're targeting the lows literally. This is the only day trade to little swing trade. It could take a couple of days to develop that we have here when we consider the structure, we consider the waves, the momentum. This is where the price needs to reject. And this is your invalidation at 92.6. It's not the greatest risk to reward, but you are downtrending. You are moving very aggressively to the downside. All of the news and all of the fear and everything has already happened. So you always need to be aware about that everything's gone down quite a bit throughout the last few days already. And obviously, naturally, you're going to get these bounces. You're going to get these relief rallies, which could, in this case, could still be the wave 4, right? Which is what we are. Preferably you get into the wave 2s and you're in the wave 3, right? And then, the 4-5 is where you're literally looking for the price action to end, right? When you form a wave 5, you're looking for a reversal bounce of some kind. So you just need to understand that looking for the shorts here, you're getting into the last little pushes to the downside, at least in the short term. And that some kind of a reversal bounce will likely happen, right? So in a nutshell, that is literally where the price needs to reject, because what has what you can fit in here is a wave 4 territory, right? We could be on the wave 4 territory at the moment, which could take a bit of time, could be between today and tomorrow. You might form a zigzag to the upside, you get a correction, and then you form another zigzag up, right? And everybody's like, whoops, what's this? Just because naturally your wave 4s are a little bit longer in time than your wave 2s. They can be double the price action, triple in time. So but your invalidation is this one. That's it, right? If you are wanting to get into the trade in this order block zone, your risk management needs to be here. That's it, right? Keeping it in simple terms, right? Sometimes we're very, very specific with our entries. SFP from here, SFP from the anchored VWAP, SFP from the weekly level, which we did get a epic bounce. Whoever caught this, then absolute legend. It was very late last night for me, so I was not around, but I would have attempted the weekly. I love the weekly touches and reactions. Sometimes we really like these. I'm not in a long from here, guys. This was late. I was not paying attention to the chart. But yeah, whoever got into that weekly level then is in a long. Price pumping $2,000. You know, it's a day trade. We always like these levels, as in, guys, reaction, SFP or here or SFP here, right? Just to get the perfect entry. But sometimes we don't get the perfect entry, and people have friends, family, work, and they can't be in front of the chart all the time for these, you know, reaction SFPs. So they just want, just give me the invalidation of a possible scenario, the entry zone area, and, you know, what are we targeting, right? And for this scenario, then look no further. It would be, you know, looking for a wave 4 to top out in this region to then claim the low again, right? And the invalidation is the golden pocket. Risk reward is not that great, but if you're not going to be a sniper trade getting into the exact levels of confluence, then managing risk, right, with stop loss, being defensive, then, you know, this is your territory right over here. That's your invalidation, and this is your target zone. Well, basically sweeping up the lows. You'd have to start collecting profits already. Okay, just for something simple right there. And we're gonna dive in on the lower time frames eventually. So smash up the like button, guys. We've gone through higher time frame. We are coming in closer to the 15-minute. We're just, you know, restructuring everything and having an update of the higher time frame. Smash up the like button, guys. Come on. Hopefully it was a little bit organized and you get the point of it, of the probabilities and validations. What are we looking next? Smash it up, legends, if you do enjoy the content. It's time for comment section before we go through the 15-minute time frame. We do have that order block on the 4-hourly. We not massive resistance, I have to say. Not huge. I mean, it is the value area high. This little range that we had yesterday, we got the previous day value area high, which is sitting in that order block, the center of the order block, previous day value area high at 90.9k. And that's also where we have the 382 50%. Will it stretch its legs from this lower high, which we are considering a wave 2, a wave 3, wave 4, 382 Fibonacci to the 50% is in that territory with the order block, with previous day value area high. Is it the zone that will reject? We missed it. We missed it by a few dollars. At least the lower part of the order block was missed by a few dollars. But this is the range, okay, of rejection. And we're gonna talk about a few more things eventually. It's not only that, we've got many things here on the 15-minute time frame, and for that I need over 200 likes, guys. As soon as we get above 200 likes, then we'll go through the different local scenarios and different possibilities on how the price could move locally for any new opportunities. A little bit more complex. This is only for the degen ones, the ones that want, you know, easy stuff with triangles and moving averages and triangles and bull flags. There's many other channels that can do that, but we are going to keep it complex as well here, finding and measuring the different moves. In the next coming minutes, I'll go through the comment section right away. Gonna get a drink of water, go around the table. Let's get to 200 likes. I'll be back now, guys, in the next few seconds. Ok. Vamos. 200 likes. Let's go through the comment section. CBM, here he is. He's here. It is quite comical to see people aggressively starting to short after we've already moved down $10,000. Very true, very true. This is why I want to be cautious on that reversal. We want to be cautious on that. CBM here on point. He's the absolute catch the low, catch the high guy. He's in a very good swing trades. Shout out to you, my man. Go and check out CBM, guys. Absolute legend. Shorts controlling. They are controlling. Bears are in control. That is for sure. Blessings, Andy. Splashfire Films. Much love. Come on, Bitcoin. Up. Mattis. I said it first. Shout out to you. Well done. He said it first, whatever that was. Shout out to you, my man. Got too many comments. I can't read everything here, guys. Bro's hyping himself up to enter. Bought BTC long at 91.2. Liquidation at 85. Should I wait? Damn. 91.2. Somebody's asking for help here. Oof. What's this kind of trading of, I longed here and my liquidation is here, so should I wait and pray to God to see if we are gonna reverse and this ends up in a 3-wave move? If this ends up being a wave 4, we do not know how low wave 5 can go, right? That's the problem. Wave 5s, we do have some good support levels here. We got a monthly naked point of control, which is sitting at 87.5k. Maybe if this forms that wave 4 in this region, tops out here as explained, at the 91k zone, give or take a few $100 up or down, and takes out the low. If that monthly point of control breaks, then potentially the next level is the valley area low. We don't have an insane amount of levels beneath that point of control of the range, right? That monthly point of control. Valley area low is at 86. That's sweeping up this low. You might, your liquidation might be missed by a few dollars if this ends up being a wave 5 and breaks this level, right? I would treat this monthly point of control as a kind of an SFP level. There is a daily there as well, as you can see. There is a daily level as well, exactly where we have that monthly point of control, naked point of control. It's a very good level. I would treat that level just the same as the weekly, where it's an SFP level, right? You tap it, you get beneath it, you get above it, you get into the aggressive long trade. But the only way is you get in, you put your stop loss here very small, and you pray to God that you are going to get a decent bounce from the weekly level, right? But it's such a good risk management trade. So if you ask me where would be the most attractive long position if you did not catch the weekly point of control, or you jumped into a long here, which is kind of aggressive. The only two longs that I've seen available to enter is either the weekly tap. If you are a bottom catcher, you need to bottom catch the reactions at these levels, and you tap it, you get above it, you enter your stop loss. If not, you need some kind of an impulse, which you could arguably discuss. There is a impulse here. This is lower time frame, so you always want to be cautious. There's lots of noise on from 50-minute below time frame. But the moment you can detect that 3-wave to the downside, which only can be detected as you overlap the lower highs of your possible wave 2, then the only entry, if you want to be aggressive, is getting in at that touch, stop loss above the last higher low. Okay, and you're targeting the highs, so the risk reward is not great. And hope that you're going to pop out here, right? In the most bullish case, where this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2, and you're developing a wave 3 here. Come on, let's go. I got into the long and hopefully we're going to form a wave 3 here. And this is for the bulls, right? And we get to the 1.618 extension, we invalidate, well, it's much higher, but literally forming a wave 3 here, right? And then an impulse, and they like, damn, I got into an epic long, right? This is like literally the only way for me to trade the market. This is the only way, right? You either take the long at levels of confluence, which obviously matches up your analysis, right? It matches up that it could end up maybe here at levels as a tap reaction. You get above, you have a 1 or 2 minutes maybe to decide if you want to enter, because you don't want to enter very high, and you manage risk like a beast. And then the other one is just targeting the highs eventually here, and this could be, this could be the long where it absolutely moons, right? We don't know if we're going to form an impulse here, but it's your entry, right? It's positioning yourself with risk management. The only ways that I know there are successful ways to enter a position with good risk management, regardless if you get stopped out 2-3 times, it doesn't matter, you're managing risk, is this way. There's only 2 ways for me. The aggressive one, which is tapping the level of confluence and putting stop loss beneath the low once you get the reaction. And then the other one for a confirmation is waiting for that impulse, right? How many times we talk about this, where you need a impulsive move and a corrective structure to then look to join the long position maybe in that wave 3. If your impulse is not too clear, you need to wait for the correction. The correction confirmation is not catching, exactly the 7/8 Fibonacci or the golden pocket. It's when you get that price action to move up above the lower high to invalidate the impulse or the multiple 1-2s. Stop loss above the last higher low. Could this be a wave 3? I'm favoring that it is an ABC on the higher time frame. There is very much a potential of a wave 4, and then we roll over, right? So, but it's positioning yourself, right? It's the how to position yourself. So it's the only 2 ways where I could have, seen a long position here to enter. So yeah, that's regarding of that question that I had. I've got a long position from 91.2, I think, and liquidation down at 85k. Well, I just don't position myself in that way. So you might be looking, you might be all right. That's the only thing I can say. I haven't got a crystal ball, unfortunately. So if this ends up being a wave 4 and it's and we move down in a wave 5, we got lots of support beneath the recent low that we have. There's a daily level, there's a point of control, monthly point of control. You could actually form that wave 4, get beneath this level, and already get the bigger bounce. But I would not, it's looking quite bearish to get continuation down. Even though we get this bounce later, I think it could be a lower high and then we break down. So I would not want to be in your position if that is a lot of risk, right? Because when you say my liquidation is down here, I'm not sure if it's 50% of your account or it's actually 1-2% of your account, which is okay. Yeah, moving forward with that, the problem is if this forms a wave 4 and you get that wave 5, there's only 2 levels that I would consider entering that long position. It's either the reaction at the daily and the monthly point of control, which it could be a tap and go kind of thing, right? Just like today's weekly. Tap and go, we got a retracement, but now we're going up. Tap, boom, and go. Might be that. So the only level of my interest to get in is 87.5k. Naked point of control, monthly point of control, and the daily level. And that's considering that we would be finishing a fifth wave, and it could react. If it does not react, so there's two scenarios here: reaction, entry, just like this weekly, looking to sweep up the fourth wave, which is very, very common for a first target on the bounce after finishing a fifth wave. The fourth wave lower highs is the main target. Okay, that's if we were to complete this fifth 5-wave move to the downside. In Elliott wave theory, when you complete a fifth wave, you know, the 382 and the fourth wave, Fibonacci from the high to the low, 382, which is round about the fourth, would be around about the fourth wave, is the most common target to hit. So if you are trying to short, in this case, the wave 5, your target would be the wave 4, because it's very, very common for your corrective structure to at least get to the wave 4. So naturally in this scenario, you know, where will the wave 5 bounce if it does get down? Well, you have two major zones. Point of control, monthly naked point of control, daily level as well, that's just slightly below. So you need to pop beneath it and reclaim it to consider that long position. Very, very possible long. You're managing risk as always. Reaction here, boom, stop loss beneath the low. We might come up here in the next 1 to 2 days to get above this level at a bare minimum. This could take a couple of days. This is the 4-hourly time frame, so that would be a setup that could be very, very real. As the just considering the possible longs here that could be developed in the coming days. If we break down from here, wave 5 did not bounce there. You clown. He lied to us. It broke. Well, you know, there's no long to be taken, right? You break through the level. You don't reclaim it. You don't have a stop loss. If you reclaim it and break down, that's a stop loss. You just need to live with it, right? It's part of the game. But if it breaks down, you don't have no entry. Wave 5 extends a little bit. Obviously, we have the value area low of this entire range, which is coming down at a very, very interesting zone. This SFP right over here, from 86.3k, is actually very, very nice. I like this SFP very, very much from these higher lows at 86.4k. Just for a bounce to take out the potential lower highs that we formed today here, right? So you got the value area low of the entire range, so you might squeeze down and then reclaim that higher low. Liquidity being grabbed. Maybe it doesn't reach this low. I wouldn't think so. There's lots of support. Value area low, higher low. It's a decent SFP to finish a fifth wave. Now it's in your best interest in this wave on the 15-minute time frame to detect the possible 5-wave move down into that zone, right? So two major pivots, SFP for the wave 5 to get that local bounce. It's the point of control, monthly point of control. It's the only level right now. If you didn't long the weekly or you didn't long here, right, just for a quick kind of day trade and have a position open, only level that I would consider to enter as what we have on the price at the moment So you just have to wait for it, right? This is what trading is about. Well, if I'm not longing on the weekly at the moment, I didn't manage to long, I'm not going to FOMO in. I'm going to have to wait, right? Because trading is waiting. So I'm going to have to wait till we get down there to the low. For the long, I'm talking about right now, right? For the wave 5 to sweep up that low, it would only be a day trade, potential little swing trade just to get it above the wave 4 as the first main target. But this is we're talking about positioning ourselves at the moment. So it's either monthly naked point of control with the daily, or the SFP from $86,300, where you have a bit of backup here with the value area low for that swing failure pattern. And you realize that it's not only a good confluence level with the value area low, but you're literally looking for the wave 5. And the wave 5, the biggest move has already happened in the last few days. You know, you are looking for a high probability reaction bounce at one of these levels. High probability based on the wave counts that we have here, and based on the confluence, there's only 2 levels where the price could bounce. So all of this nonsense that I'm long here and my liquidation is here, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. You need to improve your trading skills and your management. Only 2 levels here. You wait for them. But what if the price moves up from here and your stupid levels and your stupid Elliott wave theory did not come to fruition? You clown. Then I would have to say, well, look, maybe we are forming that 3 wave up, 3 wave down, impulse up. We invalidate the wave 4. You correct down. We form the 5, we form that 5 wave structure to the upside. We form that ABC flat, and we form that WXY here. And this ends up being an ABC flat. So if I'm not entering the long position, here, missed out the rally, right? Because I listened to this guy on YouTube about longing lower. Well, then your long needs to be identified by eliminating the possibility of this being impulsive, which needs to get up to the golden pocket and move down in a corrective move. So we can possibly identify this as your wave 1 and then some kind of a wave 2 forming, right? It's not exact. This is only drawing on the chart, but then you're long instead of, I missed longing, so, where do I long now? Well, you're going to have to wait for that invalidation of the impulse down in your wave 4, hitting above 92.5, and then the movement down, watch it. If it's overlappy, you're going to have to identify that overlap and that correction, and then this would be your setup. Okay, so and this would be eventually a very interesting long position, because you have a much wider move and much bigger profits here. You're breaking the impulse down. Okay, we've probably got this scenario when we're considering the overall structure since November. Hang on a minute, boom, 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 boom. Okay, we have the possibility of a ABC flat here. B wave has hit the minimum target, which is the 90% correction from the wave A. It's possible, but we need our first leg up here. In this case, if you didn't bottom catch and you have smelly fingers. Bottom catchers have smelly fingers. So you're going to have to wait a bit for the change of structure here locally and have a corrective move down, and then we could say, all right guys, this could be looking promising to get back above 98k. So hopefully there will be time, and then we will get the correction. But I said the same thing about this movement down, right? I'm going to add to the shorts, I'm going to look for the correction, and we really just roll down very aggressively in this wave 3. But that only means one thing. That only means one thing, right? I've been talking about, yeah, we're going to form a move down and we're going to get a bounce at some stage. It's not happening because we're still in the impulse, right? If that is the case, we're still in the impulse. Bounce will happen later on, right? We're still moving impulsively. There's been no correction. We've just been really rolling over pretty aggressively. So we label all of this still as wave 3. It's just we try to move faster in our thinking, right? Of, you know, do we finish the impulse? When is the bounce happening? Does the bounce happen tomorrow? Can I short tomorrow on the bounce, right? For the lower high for the wave 2. I mean, this is the 4 hourly. We're still in the middle stages here of a possible wave 4 formation. Wave 3 likely just possibly finished, right? It's still going to take time. It's still going to take, you know, a week maybe to get that bounce after we finish that 5 wave. And then he is going to be like, remember that short, and remember it wasn't big. Now is where I'm going big here, guys, to really look for the move down later on into February, right? Or we'll see, right? Level by level. So yeah, you know, to try and get into these longs, we are moving down aggressively. We still have a good chance that this impulse is not finished, and the wave 4 is on the formation here to take out these lows. So wave 5s are very interesting to get into the long to claim the lower highs, right? Maybe a move of $2,000-$3,000 that we could get here in the next 1 to 2 days once this wave 4 is finished. So as explained, that's the level, or this is the SFP with the value area low, which is it's either this or it's either this, right? So one of the two levels, and it's, I know a lot of people will just I'm going long and I'm adding to the position. I get so much people adding to positions and all of that. Just like someone saying, you know, I'm long from 91.2, right? And my liquidation is here, or yeah, 85. You might not to bring you down here, but you might just get liquidated in a wave 5 and then you get the bounce, right? It's just still got some disturbing higher lows, bigger support as well down here. Just don't know if we're going to double bottom here or if it's going to take out this low and then get the bounce. So there's only two specific levels that I would be interested in longing. Higher low SFP with the value area low, or point of control with the daily level for that bounce after a wave 5. So it's either here or it's either here. And in between the levels, I'm not interested, right? So you need to have a stop loss, because then you get the reaction at the level, you enter stop loss, you know, you a little bit cover up a little bit your loss, and then it rolls down, and then people have no stop loss, there's no reaction, you didn't get stopped out from this position, and you're underwater here, you're losing more than you wanted, and then, you know, damn. Well, that add to the, you know, people have the devils. I used to have the devils many years ago, where you have the angel and the devil, and the devil's always going to say, screw that, man, no stop loss, you add to the position, because this is gonna, you know, turn around at some point, right? So forget about the stop loss, you just add to the position. Don't worry, man, it ain't gonna go much lower. And there's always that day that it goes way lower than you expected, or way higher if you're in a short than you expected. Everybody goes through that period. Everybody goes there. if you don't have your rules and regular and you know and your guidelines, everybody goes down that rabbit hole. Everybody, guys, everybody. There's not one single trader that has gone down that rabbit hole. I can tell you that, because we are human, right? We have emotions. So once you get punished a few times, like I have done, and many of you have done, you understand that we do not bounce from this level. You know, I ain't gonna have anything of a long position beneath it. I'm gonna get stopped out. Where's your next level that you would possibly attempt? This one right over here. SFP. Is it possible? Yes, because it could be a wave 5. Just the only levels that you would attempt it on the reaction. And obviously when you are very interested in that day trade, you go to the 50-minute and then you start, you know, counting the waves, right? Where you're like, okay, well, we, you know, say that we move down, boom, boom, bang, bang, up, boom, boom, 5 waver, yes, 5 wave of the 5 wave, and then you're like, yes, this could be the one, this could be the one, right? So obviously zooming in on the 50-minute time frame to be a little bit more techie on the move, because if you form a wave 1 here and then you bounce and then you nuke down, then this does not look interesting for the long, man. This could be the wave 3, and then you bounce, and then the wave 5, and then you're like, okay, now is the one that I want to get into, right? So 50-minute zooming in into the local waves to understand where you're at is very, very important for the execution. Yeah, that's a little bit it about, I mean, yeah, for you know, shorting here, as explained, we're kind of reacting in this zone. Hang on a minute, let's zoom out a little bit. We didn't quite hit the low of the order block. We didn't hit the we just barely hit the 1-to-1 extension. Yeah, 1-to-1 extension was hit, so 1-to-1 is what is reacting and rejecting 1-to-1. 1-to-1 as an ABC. A little bit shallow. Now I'm really considering the timing here, that, you know, when we consider time into this move, bear with me here, guys. I know it's boring. It might be interesting for many. Let me know, guys, if it's boring, if I need to change the way that content and analysis has to be done here. But hopefully a lot of the times we do get to the point and you actually see the value behind all of these explanations. But smash up the like button if you like it. Give me a dislike if you don't. I can actually see the dislikes here. I've got 1 dislike and 225 likes. But let me know. Safety first. Nandi, you're good. Do not dare to change anything, man. Gotta care, much love. It's not boring at all. Nathan, much love. I mean, trading and analyzing is boring, really. Trading, you need to see trading as something, it's boring, right? It has to be boring. It cannot be exciting, right? It cannot be exciting. If I want excitement, I'll go with $1,000 to the casino, and that's exciting. Lots of flashy lights and numbers, you know, roulette. And I do like the casino. I do like it. Just have a good time, have a drink. You know, it's just, and it's somewhere where it's exciting, right? Lots of lights, fruity machine, boom, boom, boom. But just to go with $1,000, have a good time, have a few drinks, and then that's it, right? But trading is different. Trading has to be boring. You need to be patient. You need to be waiting for the levels of interest. And when it's exciting, you're gambling and probably losing. Exactly. You know, if I want to something exciting, I go to the casino, right? and you have a good time there. Obviously being very responsible with that. So trading is not the place for that. And if not, you will learn. You learn, right? You learn the hard way here in trading eventually. You're the man. Much love, old horse. Much love to you. Estás haciendo bien, amigo. No dudas. Sergio, much love. This is cool. This is nice to see. Getting some you rock. A lot of nice comments from you guys. Much love to everybody. Andy, you could never be boring. Much love and appreciation for you. Paz Maria Vallejos, much love to you. You're helping and saving a lot of lives. That might be true also. Saving a lot of lives. That might be true. It's all coming down to education and being responsible, right? Everybody in the trading career, eventually including myself, naturally, everybody enters the world of trading with a few profitable trades and not quite understanding why. And then obviously it's even worse starting your trading career with profitable trades, not understanding why exactly, understanding the markets, right? So, and that gets you into that disbelief stage, right? Where you think you're ruling the market. This is easy, you know, I'm being in profits, I'm long and I'm shorting, you know, not too much stop loss till you actually get irresponsible and you use more capital and, you know, you obviously burn, right? Everybody gets burnt hard at some stage in their trading career, regardless if it's the first year or the second year or the third year. Usually the third, fourth year is when you really start changing things around. Usually, I mean, for me, it was the third year when I was starting to be break even to profitable, because first 2 years, you know, it's very, very, some people take less, some people take more because they don't follow the rules. You know, at the end of the day, you need to follow your trading rules, and it's boring. You know, a lot of the I'm in no trade at the moment. I had an attempt yesterday, stopped out. I'm in this short position only. You know, I don't have lots of trades open and lots of entries, now short, now long, now this here. That's for mainly scalpers. I mean, I had a scalping period, but it's just scalping is a bit more stressful eventually, and it's just not worth it. When you have a bit of bigger capital, it's much easier to day trade, to swing trade. But anyway, yeah, it's just interesting. Every road is different for everybody. There is also a massive sell wall around $90,000. Interesting. Please provide some advice, no financial advice here, on how to improve risk to reward. Yeah, for me, risk to reward always, it depends on what trade. Every trade is different. I mean, that's a difficult question. Difficult question right there. Right. Andy the superhero. Yeah, Trick, much love to you. I stopped getting liquidated only when I started studying with you a few months ago. Absolutely awesome. Beth Maria, much love. Love you, Andy, sir, for your time. Rach, much love to you, my man. Thank you very much, everybody, for the kind words. Let's move forward here with we're getting a little bit of a move down. So yeah, rejecting at the one-to-one extension from this little move, missed the order block by a hair, the 4 hourly order block, right? An order block needs to be in. This is not an order block. This is not an order block. An order block needs to be hidden, right, inside of a downtrend, right? A green block in the middle in the case of a downtrend. Of course, in an uptrend it would be red, which is trapped in the middle where there's been some orders, right? It's an order block, right, where it's been blocked. It's a little mini range, and obviously there's order blocks on the 1 hourly, 4 hourly, daily, and it's usually a zone where there's been trading activity, right? And where there's been trading activity, it usually provides some support or resistance. And this is why it's an interesting area when we consider Elliott wave theory, right? It's where we have the 382 Fibonacci, because we're considering this as the wave 2, remember, right? And we're still in that wave 3. 382 is just at the beginning stages of the order block. 50% is slightly above the order block, but with the order block was missed by a few dollars, right? The low of the order block, bit aggressive. I mean, it all depends on how you want to trade this, right? It all depends on how you want to enter. As mentioned, if this is a 5-wave move to the downside, your proper invalidation is here. So the risk to reward, as explained, if you are entering this short to take out the lows, I mean, the risk to reward is not that great, right? But this is what you have, literally. I did not enter a short here, guys. You know, I'm not shorting. So, yeah. Anyway, regarding the this hang on a minute. We're gonna have to we need to consider time. We need to consider time here, because if we move down to hit the lows here, wait a minute, because we could have something here. A flat could be on the formation. If we have a 3-wave move up and we move down to the lows, there could, you know, it's interesting to consider a long, okay, at the monthly point of control. There's also a daily, sweeping up these lows and getting a bounce if the price rolled over from here. I have to say, this is a bit of a difficult short, okay, based on stop loss. Would have been nice to get a bit higher, and then, you know, your stop loss is a bit further away and you give it a bit of a breather to then roll down to take out the lows. But I have to say, longs are looking interesting at this point. So if we do come down to this low, timing is something very important. Timing is something very important. And when we consider, if this is a wave 1 and this is your wave 2, and you have 1, 2, 3, and this is your 5th wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 finished move here, and then you would say I'm looking for a 4th wave and then a 5th wave. Okay, just looking at the timing right now, because 4th waves are usually longer than your wave 2s, which is very possibly the case here. Yeah, this one's already longer. So based on time, when we consider the symmetry of a wave 2 and the wave 4, this wave 4 is just about okay to be maybe finished here. However, it could still extend till tomorrow and form a flat easily. Hang on a minute, sorry, wrong tool. Yeah, this has a lot of time still, till the 25th, to literally develop a wave 4. So as we are looking either for a wave 5 to complete here, either with that monthly point of control or with daily level, or hitting that SFP level. Remember, this is an SFP level. It's those higher lows. Right, so these are 2 very interesting levels, right? When we zoom out, remember that white line. Hang on a minute, this needs to be a little bit more. We need to put this a little bit more accurate here. Yeah, if so the overall question at the moment, if we come down to hit the lows, we've got a good level here. It would be quite shallow. I would expect maybe the wave 5 pushing a little bit more to 86.3k zone for that SFP. We want to be a little bit cautious on that double bottom, but it's either here or here. There is a valid, it would be a valid level to already be a wave 4, a bit longer than your wave 2. That's okay. 1 2 3 4 5. Wave 4s are usually longer, so what we could consider as well, if it's not a wave 5, is that maybe it's a wave 4, but you form a flat. That's if you do claim the lows, where you have a 3 wave up, you move down, you get a bounce, and then you move down again, and then you get that push to the upside here, and it forms an ABC flat. Regardless of which one happens, if it is going to be the wave 5 already, or if it's going to be a wave 4 in a flat, it becomes interesting to look for the double bottoms, double bottom from here, or stretch a little bit more to get that SFP from 86.3, right, which is these higher lows over here. Very, very good cluster right there for an SFP. Very, very good, especially when we're considering the internal waves. So I have to say, it's this zone is very, very valid for a sniper long to sweep up the recent local highs. It's a very, very good trade, regardless if it's a flat or regardless if it is the 5th wave. This is a very, very good high probability bounce here that we got. And these are the only 2 levels that we can consider to reclaim, to get into that long. Move down, not interested. Get back up, it's a long position. Your target is the highs, or the lower highs of today, basically. If you break through, then there's nothing to do in here. There's literally, for me, nothing to do until we either hit the SFP from those higher lows. It's the only way that I have right now is either long here with stop loss here, or either long here with stop loss here. Which one will it be? It doesn't matter at the moment, because the main target is the lower highs of today, and it doesn't matter if it is a wave 5 or if it's an ABC flat, and then you move down in the 5th wave, right? And then we'll figure out this tomorrow. But there's an interesting bounce here that we've got a very, very good chance of a bounce if this is the high and we claim the lows. So 2 major levels that we have for the failed breakdown and the reaction: 87.5 or 86.3. So and that's that's a very interesting high probability setup. It's all about the execution, reclaiming these levels, always stop loss beneath the fake out and the liquidity grab, right? Because at the end of the day, it would be a liquidity grab. And yeah, this entry for the short, a little bit shallow if you ask me. I know Deviled very successfully likes to enter these extensions when he considers a correction or an impulse. He considers very much the 1-to-1, and he's very, very successful trading the extensions as well. I like to take a look at higher lows or lower highs for SFPs, or daily level, or a monthly point of control, in this case down here, for that SFP, or the weekly, right, which we did get, a reaction, failed breakout, and enter, stop loss, rally. You're already making a 2-3 to 1 risk reward. Take your money and run away, right, kind of thing when we consider day trades. But Deviled very much likes the extensions, and I've seen him trade them very, very successfully. And sometimes he considers, I'm looking at either the 1-to-1 or the 1-2-3-6. You tap it, you reject from it, you enter, and your stop loss is above the high. and he talks a lot about that inside of the community, a lot of it. I wouldn't be surprised that he mentioned this one. So also, guys, if you are interested, Devil has been with the legends today. I'm gonna cover tomorrow. We do take turns, and if we see something different, we need to do more collabs as well inside of the community. If you are interested in joining, there's daily updates and possible scenarios that we look for every single day. That is the first link down below. Just send me a DM, okay? Right away. Sorry, my bad. This is something that we're looking to do. But to send me a DM down below. And this is a campaign that we're looking to do, but it's not active at the moment, but it will be active. If you want to join the community, send me a message and I'll share the instructions to join the community. It's the first link down below, legends, okay? Anybody that's interested, and that is in the Telegram. Also, exchanges. Need to give a shout out to these exchanges because, my goodness, BTCC is with this insane campaign at the moment. I love bluffing. Most of my bigger trading funds are in bluffing. For me, it's remaining my first favorite exchange. I've traded on Binance, Bybit many years, and bluffing just because we work with them and they bring in really good bonuses. Bluffing is awesome. I know a lot of you people trade on bluffing already. Who doesn't trade on bluffing? They do have VIP 1 here for the first 30 days that decreases your fees massively, deposit bonus of up to $1,000, and all of these different, rewards that you get as you trade. You do get airdrops into your account, okay, as you trade. So you need to trade and you get airdrops to your account basically. Now, BTCC is with the interesting one at the moment. It is true that the bonus is for 30 days, not like on bluffing that the bonus extends for way longer, but they give you 30% on top of your deposit for 30 days. So I mean, you deposit 100k, you're getting 30k on top of that, and obviously that pays as well for your fees and pays for any losses that you have, and that's absolutely great for people that want to go a little bit aggressive and not lose basically on fees or stop losses that you do get, and want to take advantage on some free capital that they do give you. They are running this campaign, which is very, very insane. 30% unlimited. Unlimited means you can deposit $1 million, you'll get 300,000 on top of that for 30 days. Okay, there's the terms and conditions, of course, all right, that you go through here. And it is for 30 days, okay? Valid for 30 days, which is still good. You got a solid 30 days with a 30% plus in your capital with BTCC. So shout out to BTCC and bluffing, of course. And you have the links down below if you want to support the channel, okay, as well. Bluffing, BTCC down below. You also got Velto, which has the lowest fees. Everybody's got something very, very good. Velto has the lowest fees at the moment, which is 0.02 taker fee. Velto connects directly to your wallet, okay, no middleman, so that is good. Decentralized platform. Velto is your option, guys. Highly liquid, and Velto has a little tutorial as soon as you click the link down below. Your decentralized platform, okay, trading platform, Velto. Anyway, I had to stop. It's just no major shout out to these exchanges throughout the stream today, so we needed to do so. For our green candle. Anyway, I'm curious to see in the Telegram if Devil did mention this this one-to-one extension. He might have considered it. I really would have preferred a little push into the lower part of the order block. But as we are getting this movement down, would be interested in internal longs at the levels that I explained, okay? If you're feeling aggressive, one-to-one extension, you treat it as a failed breakout. Tap above the one-to-one. If you get beneath it, stop loss at the high, and you're targeting the low basically on this downtrend, if not the 1, 2, 3, 6 extension, which was slightly higher. So it's just rolling down at the moment. Rolling down at the moment. So this could either be the wave 4 and we're forming the wave 5 here, or the wave 4 extends a little bit more, okay, and we could form a flat. Those are the two main scenarios that I'm looking at the moment. It's either a flat and wave 5 happens tomorrow or Friday, or the wave 4 could be in here already. And we are finishing our wave 5. So depending on how we develop this movement, you want to take a look at the waves internally here. On the 15-minute, this movement down is coming in pretty sharp at the moment. And that's basically it, legends. Make sure to destroy the like button. I'm just going to get a drink of water and I'll go through the comment section. I'll read you guys and see if we can do... take a look at some stuff, maybe some altcoins, maybe higher time frame, maybe lower time frame. Let me know what we can look on the chart in the comment section. I'll read you right now, guys, most of you if I can, as I get that drink of water and we get that like button to get above 300. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Comment section time. Man, for me, you know, didn't get into the short, guys. Didn't reach order block, didn't reach the 382. What can we say? What can we say? Not even hitting the lower part of the order block, or not even hitting the 382 that can be treated as well as an SFB. So yeah, no short for me. Miss short, no worries. Opportunities every day. We don't need to catch them all like Pokemon, right? Pokemon. Not Pokemon, I was going to say it in Spanish there. All right, Theta. Whew, Theta. You know what? I actually hold some Theta in my crypto portfolio. Flag is cracking. Shall we take a look at Theta? We can take a look at Theta. Let me go through the comment section. The SFP looks good. SFP looks good. I guess from the lows. 112. That to the upside, maybe. Not sure if you were really rolling over here. 3-wave corrective structure it is to the upside. So yeah, we are downtrending. We need to understand that. No major longs anywhere in this movement eventually. Longs have to be taken after hitting major levels if we do get the reaction. We might get them on stream. I'm still planning to be on the stream for quite a bit. So naturally, after a 3-wave move up, there's no way we would be interested. I would be interested. I'm not going to say we. Maybe you have a strategy. Maybe you have something different. There's no way in a million years that I would want to get into a long position, right? After a 3-wave move up in a very heavy downtrend, right? Not for me. I would not speculate on this 1-2-1-2 with this movement down. I want to see either this level or this level. That's when I'm going to consider the long position on the reaction with good risk management. Long in any of this, for me, is not a good idea. Not a good idea to get into any longs here. So let's see, we're moving down pretty aggressively here. Damn. Muy agresivo. Muy agresivo. Okay, so let's go through the the comment section. Someone's saying to take a look at theta. Let me set an alert down here at the lows, just so the alert is set. We get the ding-a-ling and we check the reaction, just in case I'm distracted. Thank you, Andy, for being here every day, bringing us your no BS clear analysis. Love the channel. Much love from Belgium. Thank you so much for those kind words. Sometimes I feel like I'm boring. We're going to try and change that for 2026 if that is the case. Anyway, much love to everybody here. Beautiful candle to the downside. Shorters are very, very excited with this movement down. Longs only should have been taken at specific levels, either here just to take out the high and see if price wants to pop up, but naturally you would be out of that position at the moment, or the weekly level bounce. When you're longing in an aggressive downtrend, you need to take profits on the bounces and be defensive, right? We cannot play around with longs very much in a very aggressive downtrend. Someone was asking me about what should I do with my long position. Will I be saved at 91.2? And I'm like, holy smokes. You know, the downtrend is aggressive. We are looking for a possible wave 4 and another move down. I don't know, man. I would not be positioned myself. You know, you might be lucky. I just can't, you know, I can't help you. You should be out. That's the only thing I could say. Appreciate your work. Thank you very much. Long live the king. Goodwill, much love to you. Thank you very much for the kind words, guys. Today's been an epic stream with a comment section. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. I am human. I have emotions. I do cry at night. Okay, as well. Before going to bed. Missing family, missing friends, missing life. I need some support, guys. Come on. Only joking, guys. But yeah, thank you very much for the kind comments. Andy, you're a scammer. Yeah, okay. Crypto world is very much packed with that, I can say. I'm just a messenger trying to provide solid analysis and a solid way of trading, basically. Manage risk as always. No trade is good. CBM, much love. Are we going to 66, 68k? You know what? I have to say that is a very good question. Are we going down? Are we going down to 66 or 68k? I have to say that there is a chance, without a doubt, for that to happen in the next coming months. Everything points out, especially when we compare that price action, guys, right, that we had in 2022. My goodness, this is like we almost mirroring this price action that we had in Q1 of 2022. That's the 4-year cycle theory. Q1 bear market, almost mirroring. We need to squeeze it a little bit, right? But very, very similar, very similar price action. So yeah, are we going down to those levels, 60k, 70k region? There is potential when we combine Elliott wave theory. We look at the fractal here that we have from 2022, Q1 of 2022. That was 4 years ago. Very similar bounce that we had from the last few months. Very similar. When we combine Elliott wave theory, then the most aggressive correction that we have is the double zigzag. WX, zigzag down in W, zigzag down in Y, with that potential of absolutely ripping to the downside. So I have to say it looks very possible when you ask me about that. Are we going to 66, 68? Chances are looking pretty okay for that to happen in the next couple of months, next few months. Better to be boring and profitable. Andy lost all his money. Andy, once again, you're wrong. Oh, this is the same dude. Here we go again. Oh, they got the same dude coming in again. That's the same Wally that we had last week. Knobhead. We got the same knobhead from last week. Let's get him out of here. But he's just going to talk shit here. Get him out. It's the same dude from last week. I started selling, says Smoke God. You're not boring. You do very long live streams. That why it may seem to you, but I love it doing live during New York Open. Time is the best, taking us through to the end. Thank you for taking us to the end. Much love, Steve, to you. Thank you very much for the kind words. Ban him, says CBM. Wow, does that mean it's not broke? Like everyone has been saying. What's that? What's that? Anyway, yeah, let me go. Leave me some stuff here in the comment section. Smash up the like button, guys. Remember, anybody that's new, subscribe. We do this every single day, Monday to Friday, analyzing the local possibilities. Little sweep of this low. I have to say there is a very, very, very high chance that we do take out this low. Very high. Well, yeah, very, very high chance that we do take out that low at some point. As the 0.88 Fibonacci has been hit. Could this be an ABC flat? Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. No, there's a very, very good chance we take out this low at some point. So we're going to have to wait for the lows to be taken to hit some support levels. Somebody was saying, little cheeky SFP from here. Anybody that wants to trade a little quick little scalp, right? Sweep up the low. A little bit of a sniper. There's a good chance we do take out this low at some point. You know, any of this aggressive trading, get in, get out, run with your money, run. High probability this low is taken at some point, regardless if this correction extends or whatever. Theta, somebody asked about Theta. The 4-year cycle, yeah, well, like everyone has been saying, does that mean it's not broke? Yeah, a lot of people dude, been watching you since 2021. 5 years of boring, wow. Exikuno, much love, thank you very much. Long follower from there, almost from the beginning stages. The channel started in September of 2020 as we were getting into the bull run. So I have to say I did make quite a lot in the previous bull run. And he's the best. This guy is just a hater. I know he is. It's all right. It's the same guy that we had last week, because he always comments it. You know, he just goes on and on and on. Excellent job, as always. Much love to you, WeTube. Thank you very much for the kind words. Much love. Diesel, shout out to you. WeTube NL. What is happening, Andy? Leiran, it's just we are moving down. What can we say? Please take a look at the BTC dominance, says Alias. What is the outlook and why is not breaking down despite breaking structure? Yeah, we can take a look at that. We can discuss that. Bitcoin dominance, not sure if we are dropping. I know we are. Bitcoin dominance, shall we do a little bit of... Somebody asked about Theta. Let's just pull the chart of Theta just to see what do we have on Theta on the higher time frame. I do hold some of this crypto. I do have a crypto bag, guys. I do have a crypto bag. Not massive, but I do. Man, yeah, we're talking about these possible bottom formations. That's where most of my Theta, I think I did actually buy some Theta also in this range. if I'm not mistaken. I can't even remember. I don't check my wallets. I used to before in the previous bull run, but not anymore. We'll just leave them there in the dust. But yeah, this is bad. Very, very bad. Can we take a look at theta? I'm not sure what we can look at here. I will do some altcoin analysis on a few cryptos, maybe on a live stream. I would rather get them ready. This has to be checked on the logarithmic and analyze the situation. But man, these altcoins and cryptos are very, very. I think it's still an awesome project. I think these were decentralized streaming platform. Need to go through the altcoins, but yeah, you know, so much out there. I'm kind of bored down with altcoins. Anyway, Bitcoin dominance. This is down. It's even, you know, massive liquidation event from the 10th of October. And down. What can we say? Let's take a look at the Bitcoin dominance. And Alice was asking here about the structure. Why is the structure? So we've got that bounce on the Bitcoin dominance here. It seems like we would have to see the Bitcoin dominance roll over. I think that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. I mean, this could be ranging for months till we actually bottom out on altcoins, and then we start getting altcoin season and altcoins recovering. But it looks like that it doesn't want to go anywhere. It's been ranging here for many months. It's a little bit stuck. But I think you said, why aren't we moving down? Because we're breaking internal structure, I guess you were saying here. This hasn't broken any higher time frame structure at all, because you have this major push up, which was when we had the liquidation event, and you have this movement down, this one and this one, right? Kind of a very corrective move after this big push up. So this is still grinding to the upside. You know, this is still a higher low, even if you were to take out this low. Maybe you're breaking the trend line, which was just not SFPing from this lower high at the moment. But yeah, this is not breaking structure really. This could be dancing around here, moving up and down for many weeks. I don't see this going anywhere really, considering that we are in bear market territory. Bitcoin going down, we are looking for Bitcoin to actually continue going lower, very likely, unless things change as explained on the higher time frame in the next coming months. You know, I don't think the dominance would go down if Bitcoin's going to go down in the next coming months. So it seems like the Bitcoin dominance is just going to be stuck in this region, maybe grinding slightly to the upside for a few months here, especially considering Bitcoin going down. Unlikely that Bitcoin dominance will go down with Bitcoin. That doesn't usually happen. So yeah, it's probably going to still continue uptrending and ranging here for a few months possibly. That's my take on the dominance. Bitcoin coming down, sweeping up the low. We're getting a reaction maybe on this level. Not yet. Point of control. Daily low was taken. High probability that that low was going to be taken. Daily level might react. Yesterday we got a little reaction at the VWAP and an SFP that we had. Just a very internal scalp. We might get a scalp here on stream. Let's see if we do get that. level hit and reacted on. We're still a little bit away from it. Just a few dollars, not much. Whoops, what's this? Yesterday we had a little SFB. We want to be cautious here. Man, whoever shorted at that 90,300 range, good job for me. We needed to have a little bit more of a push to the upside. We didn't even hit the 382. We're going to come down to hit this major level at 87.5. Moving down a bit aggressive. It looks pretty ferocious move here with increasing volume. Ooh. It's nuking. Volume is increasing here. Very, very close to hitting that monthly. Remember guys, this is a big, big level. It is a very muy grande level. Point of control right there. Coming into the level right now, just a gentle tap. It is nice to wick beneath it. Ooh. Big volume here coming in. We never like so much volume into a level. It is very, very aggressive, I have to say, with this increasing volume. Might get a little bounce. Let's take a look at the delta. 21 million short positions entering right now in the last 30 minutes. Big volume here. Just gently tap to the level and getting the bounce right now, but ooh. Little scalperado entry. Literally just tap the level, getting the reaction now. I don't like the volume. Volume is extremely high here. A lot of shorts entering. Little bounce, little reaction. I prefer when we do hit such an interesting level to actually wick beneath it. So create a little wick of $100 or $200. Not just tap it like almost to the dollar. Daily level, it's a daily as well. So you got the point of control of the entire range. You got double confluence right there. Something to consider as well, that if you do not break it and you get a little bit of a bounce here, maybe it can double bottom. Maybe it could form that double bottom as well. Cheeky double bottom. If it gets a little bounce and then decides to take out the low end, then get the bigger bounce. yeah, the nasty thing about this is that you have big volume here, big volume, huge amount of volume. We never like that. Preferably coming down into this level. Ideally you do form this, and then this, right? Not like the third wave with big volume. If we come down to that level, I prefer coming down like this to it instead of like this, how it's doing at the moment with increasing volume. It just gives you that possibility of breaking the level here, eventually on that wave 3 and then 4 and then 5, and then you SFP from that higher low, right? Which is this one right over here looks very interesting for the bigger bounce potentially in the next couple of days. But still, it is trying to react. Always prefer a 5 waver into the level instead of a 3 wave at the moment with increasing volume. But I have to say, there's been lots of shorts entering the market right now here. A lot of shorts. So anyway, daily level, monthly point of control, right, which is that high volume node. It's a big level. So it could chop, it could double bottom, it could fake out. Little reaction of a few $100s at the moment. Could get a bigger bounce. As we came down here with a little wave 1, right? Little wave 1, little bounce. Very strong roll over here. We want to consider that it might shallow bounce and maybe take out the low for a double bottom. Okay. Because we have a little bit of a problem here. Yeah, I don't like this with the highest amount of volume. Bounced just $500 from that exact level. Not too confident here on this one, just because of the interest for a bigger bounce. I mean, just because of how we move down into the level. So we'll treat it a little bit as a scalp. Would treat it as a scalp. The fact that we came down like this, I wouldn't consider this a wave 4. And this is like 5-minute time frame, of course, right? This is too small for a wave 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and then this actually recovers a little bit more in the next coming hours. Preferably we would have had a little bit more of a range here and then take out the low. That would have been a little bit better to be confident on a bigger bounce from here. But with increasing volume and very straightforward. So, I mean, another plan here would be if you do get a bit more of a bounce, right? It ranges a little bit here for the next 1 to 2 hours and then takes out the low. That could be very interesting for the double bottom, because then you would structure here nicely a 5-wave move down. When you go below the 15-minute time frame, I have to say, there's a lot of noise, lot of noise when you consider Elliott wave theory. So yeah, I mean, if we do get a little bit of a bigger bounce in this region, okay, it forms a corrective bounce. Then the double bottom will be looking very, very interesting. I could consider all of this still third wave on the lower time frame, because you have, you know, very increasing volume hitting this level with no solid wave 4. So you want to be cautious, because wave 3 here could still be, you know, on the development from this move. This would be very, very interesting. If you get a little bit more of a range in the next hour and then take out the low, that could be an interesting double bottom. But if it breaks down right now, it's just you're still very much developing the strong wave to the downside, because you've had increasing volume and there hasn't been a proper wave 4 stop here. That would have been nice for the wave 5 bounce. So a little bit difficult at the moment here for this to have a high probability bounce, unfortunately, based on this aggressive move down with increasing volume. So yeah, I just want to be aware of that. But then you get the other traders that are just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna enter a position here, and my stop loss, I'm gonna give it a bit of room. You know, I do believe that we are gonna bounce in the next coming days to get above 91k and even higher. And just, you know, it depends on your risk management here. Okay, we like talking about little scalps, be defensive for people that are going aggressive and want to make a quick 2-to-1, 3-to-1 risk reward. But if you want to trade this, you know, much better than longing at 91.2k, someone said that's in a long position somewhere in this range. You know, am I safe? My liquidation's at 85. Well, you know, the thing is, I am looking for a bounce either here or either here. Question is, you know, this is why it's important to look at the lower time frame and understand that this move down is aggressive with increasing volume. So you never like that. You never like that. You want that kind of wave 4 at some stage from this pivot, to then obviously consider that the solid the solid bounce in your wave 5. So increasing volume into the level with no major stop in the middle for your wave 4 is disturbing here for a successful bounce at the moment. Let's just go ever so slightly to the 30-minute time frame. It's all depending on your risk preferences. You know, maybe some people want to give a little bit of room for stop loss and don't want to look at the noise on the lower time frame. What is disturbed? I mean, I would not consider. I mean, the most better. We talked about this yesterday. We do have a little bit of increasing volume here at the lows, which is not great. Would really. We do have the volume being higher at the moment at the lows, so there is some very aggressive selling going on. Volume is higher at the moment with this movement down than the move down that we had yesterday. This is not what you want to see when you want to see a bottom formation. So it's not ideal here what we got based on volume. There's higher volume right now on the 1 hourly on this movement down from the one that we had yesterday. You know, you always need to have as well an extreme bearish case, which the extreme bearish case scenario is multiple 1-2s where you have 1-2, 1. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing as well. You can't fit a nice 1 here. Finishing right there. Unless this is a sideways correction, 1-2, 1-2, and another 1 and 2. It just doesn't fit nice. Usually your wave 2s get overlap with your previous wave 1, so it doesn't make sense. Yeah, there is the highest probability of getting a bounce eventually in one of these levels of support. When you consider the multiple 1-2s, is just not something that I would be favoring at the moment. But yeah, I want to be cautious eventually on that, because it is accelerating, right? That the curve is accelerating. Yeah, the only thing is a wave 3 breakdown here possible, right? Where it just absolutely tanks, right? I have to say, the possibilities are there. So we're not holding that level. It's not holding. Did not hold. Only a little bounce. Very much something that was very anticipated based on how we moved down here, right? You want to move down in some kind of a 5 waver, and volume is increasing into the low. We didn't get a wave 4. Wave 3 could still be very much on the formation here based on this local structure. So yeah, we are beneath the daily, beneath the point of control at the moment. It's a zone that I do not want to be in any long position. With increasing volume on the lower time frames on this latest move, unless we reclaim successfully that pivot, I have no business at the moment here, unless a reclaim happens. Next level to watch, whoever managed to jump into that short, very good indeed, very good indeed. Whoever managed to just say, I'm jumping into the short here. For me, we had to go a little bit higher to get into that order block zone, hit the 382 Fibonacci at least, which we missed as well. Some people maybe we're already moving down $3,000 today from that 3-wave structure. So we are beneath the level of support at the moment. So for me, there's eventually nothing to do here at the moment regarding longs. As a reaction, we got the reaction, little bounce of $500. Not confident in that bounce, purely based on the way on how we're getting down here. It's always important, guys. It's not all about only levels, right? It's not only about levels, it's how you get down there. And if you move down with increasing volume, with no wave 4 and then 5, you know, moving straight down into the level is dangerous with increasing volume, because this could really just power down here at the moment. So understanding how the local move down is very important as well, despite it is the biggest point of control, right, that we have from the range at the moment, sitting here, monthly point of control. If we reclaim it, then it could be an option, but we are currently beneath the daily, beneath the point of control. A reclaim could be a possibility. Lots of shorts entering, So I mean, that's good to see. Lots of shorts entering here at the lows, literally at the support. We can see it on the CBD. What are the people saying? Thanks for joining the stream. We've got some people joining based on the volatility. Although there is a one large volume bar in the current dump, in yesterday's dump, there were a lot of large volume bars together, although shorter than today's single one. Very true. Stock market is tanking right now. Shall we take a look at the ES? See how that is doing. Oh, so we did pump a little bit today, and then we are dumping back down. So big rollover on the stock market. Even though stock market there's a little bit of a change of structure here. You did lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high right there. There is a little bit of change, little change of structure here on the lower time frame from the last few days on the stock market. Stock market did end up pumping aggressively in the end, but now coming right down. Maybe it could form a higher low on the stock market here that might incentive Bitcoin reclaim. It is also the way on how we move down to this level, which is not great. Nice little reclaim right there. There's other ways of treating this as well. Instead of aggressively looking for the entry, sometimes it's nice to look for the aggressive entry here, and aggressive stop losses eventually at the lows. But in the current way of where we are at the moment, you know, with the high volume moving down and there's no wave 4, it's still a very aggressive push down with increasing volume. It's just not one of those, because you're probably going to get wicked out. It's one of those areas where the bounce is going to be a wave 4 and it will wick the lows again to have a wave 5, literally. So that's when your risk management here needs to change a little bit. And if you are happy to attempt one of these longs at this territory, you need to have a little bit of a less risk to reward kind of trade. Give a bit of room for stop loss and look to target the local highs that we formed today. That could take, you know, several hours eventually till it actually gets the bounce. It's just on how we come down here to this level of support, that you could get a little local bounce and wick the lows again and then get the bounce. I mean, the support is there. It's just the way on how we came down to this level that's not great. It is the daily, it is the monthly point of control. Not a zone to go extremely crazy here. I mean, technically, I want that hold I want that level to hold. You know, if we're not holding this level, you know, don't want to have any funny business. I'm the kind of guy that, you know, if I entered along here and I'm putting my stop loss, obviously you're adjusting your risk management, right? You're not risking here a huge amount. This still becomes your 1-2% risk, regardless if your stop loss is here or it's here. It's still the same percentage loss. You're just lowering risk in this situation and giving a bit of a breather. But The fact that we come down like this into the level is not always the best way. What would have been nicer is something like this. That would have been nicer into this level instead of straight down with increasing volume. It's just never good news when you come down so ferociously into the level with increasing volume with no stops in the middle. Yeah, the fact that if we do not hold above this zone in the next coming minutes, we start trading beneath the level, start getting some more movements here, would not be interested in maintaining or adding to the position or anything. It's an aggressive move down. Stock market is getting that little bounce. I mean, stock market did get a local change of structure. So it did change structure, so it can form a higher low here. But not that we have massive correlation with Bitcoin or with the stock market, I have to say. At least instant correlation. A little range here would be ideal at some stage. So if it does manage to hold for a little bit and then takes out the lows, then it could be an interesting one. Because then you would have that 5-wave move to the downside here. It is big support, so all depends on your risk preference here. You know, it is a very solid level. It's a point of control, monthly naked point of control zone. With a daily level, and you are looking for either a wave 5 or either a wave 4 and 5 or either an ABC flat here. Either an ABC flat or either your 5-wave finished. Technically possible that could be a wave 4. This is the wave 5 ABC flat. It's the ways on how we came down to that level which is not very interesting here. Anyway, it's trying to hold. It might form a little bit of noise here. Reaction is there. The reaction is happening at the level. So it is doing something. It is doing something. Let's go through the comment section, see what the legends are saying. Look at the SPX gold. Whenever we broke 1.5, we had a crash or a recession. SPX gold. Let's take a look at that. Why not? Let's take a look at that. SPX gold. A little bit concerned when we do take into consideration was it ES gold? Let me know the ticker symbol here. I picked a bad time to get into crypto, says BTS. Well, technically, the 4-year cycle theory is still very much in the same territory. We are in 2026, which is bear market. Altcoins haven't done very well, I have to say, in the bull run. Anyway, Bitcoin's done well. It's manipulation. SPX against gold, that is. Let's take a look at that. SPX. And zoom out. Throughout history, every time we got down to this zone, we've had a recession, you say. Well, yeah, it seems like that we've had a recession. We got the dot-com recession. Well, that was the internet bubble. But yeah, well, basically the recession of 2008, right? This is literally where we are at the same level at the moment. We do have the C19 crash, very much as well, as you mentioned. Interesting. It is interesting. And yeah, we can't take a look at history here, but yeah, I mean, we got the 2020 C19 crash, and we got the 2008 as well. Would I rely on this? Well, gold has gone through the roof already. Stock market has been doing pretty well. Hasn't been doing bad. When we zoom out, still literally been hitting all-time highs in the last few weeks. But yeah, this is a bubble waiting to pop without a doubt. But for the moment, can't say that stock market is going to crash. The problem is with this, in these times, that I think a lot of people prefer to hold assets than actually holding cash, right? So regardless, we're going to see like a recession or a bad economy, but you know, stocks are still going to do okay. Gold up, crypto's another story, of course. Gold, silver, real estate, stocks, and market's going to be looking like crap. The cash is going to devalue, and assets are still going to go up. So it's going to be maybe a different type of recession that we do see, where we don't get stock market crashing, because I think people still even prefer to hold lots of stocks in the US. This is why we're not crashing, really, right? Much love, Mark Dutch, to you. Let's go. Here he is. Much love to you, brother. Devolt, the man is still alive. Yes, I am. It's been a long one. We're coming into a crucial level, I have to say. I'm giving a bit of a breather here. I'm so much aware of the price nuking down, right? You always consider that we're at very, very solid support. Okay, monthly point of control, monthly naked point of control, right, from this range. Daily level, it's getting a reaction. We want to hold. I've explained to the legends how I don't like very much how we've come down into this level with increasing volume, with no proper wave 4 and 5. Still, you know, very much aware of all of this being wave 3 territory, unless we get that stop here. And for the moment, if we get a very, very shallow bounce, then you get the nasty little move down, which is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it gets the solid bounce, right? So you just need to be aware these levels of support, depending on how you move down here, which in this case, you're moving down with very increasing volume in a very 3-wave matter. You still could be in that wave 3 zone here. This could still be wave 3 territory, which is not good. Not good. If a little stop and a little bounce happens here in the next hour, then the double bottom is the good one. Then the double bottom is a good one. If that stop manages to range a little bit here, I would say at least about 30 minutes. At least get a little bit more of a bounce of another $500. Range a little bit longer, and then that stop is very, very nice for then the double bottom here, the reversal. But the fact that we didn't get any big nice stop here for that wave 4, it's just, it's, you know, it's not promising to hold successfully. Best reactions at levels of confluence are the ones where you have that wave 5. And yeah, with this very aggressive third wave with increasing volume, smells a bit fishy, and much love to everybody. Mark Dutch here, the legend himself. Naive, much love. Jerome, let's go. I love ANT2. Let's go. Devilt, much love, my man. We got Mark Dutch here giving love and support as always. Devilt the legend is here. Look at the weekly, yes, alias. We did see that. Gold against SPX. Much love to everybody. Thanks for joining the stream. See daily time frame. What do you think about the wave theory? Sam, yeah, we've been doing a higher time frame on the stream today as well. It's literally the first 30 minutes to an hour. We've been literally doing daily and 4-hour time frame on this long live stream today, just do the updates. And where we're currently at, based on, let me just clean up here this, I want to leave the levels. Let's just jump into another chart. Based on the higher time frame, where we at is, it's a dangerous territory for bigger moves down. This could be a finished WXY. Could we have this as multiple 1-2s and wave 3 is cooking? I don't like the fact that this would be a wave 1, wave 2, this another wave 1, this another wave 2, this another wave 1, this another wave 2, and it is kind of increasing in speed here when you do take a look at the parabola. Instead of up, it's down. But for this to be multiple 1-2s doesn't make much sense, because usually your wave 2s do overlap from your first wave 1s. That is not the case. Usually your second and third wave 2s are similar in size or getting smaller, and the fact that this is the longest one instead of the first one, right, or the previous one, doesn't make sense for multiple 1-2s to be building up here. So it makes sense that, you know, a bounce is very much the highest probability, despite the prices moving south very aggressively, based on the local structure. You know, we are looking for a wave 4 and 5 or a 5th wave to possibly end somewhere in this zone. We have some local levels of support, monthly point of control. It's where we're reacting at the moment. I don't like the 3-5 minute time frame, how we come down to this zone. One of those areas that you want to, you know, maintain risk, you know, just don't go too in heavy as a long. When we try and catch long positions at the lows, you don't want to go too aggressive. If not, you want to have you're going to have smelly fingers, right? If you go into aggressive, fighting the overall move down. But it does make sense that it either bounces here or either SFPs from these higher lows with the value area low of this entire trading zone. And multiple 1-2s here for a breakdown in a wave 3. It's one of those moments in the market conditions that we are at the moment, with all of this Donald Trump Greenland tariffs, Iran this, the other, that, you know, you understand that, you know, shit can hit the fan, and it just literally really tanks. So you want to be really cautious with snipering the levels, right, of confluence. You want to be very cautious. This is, you know, no zone to adding for long positions. Got someone here in the comment section today saying that he's long from 91.2, and you know, said you should be out of that position. We're still downtrending. We're still looking for another move down here as a, you know, potential wave 4 or 5. And because how the market conditions are, but we are at support. This is the zone where it could bounce. Technically for me, it's either bounce here or it's either bounce here. If you cross these levels successfully, you know, I wouldn't want to have any business in any long positions. And when we consider the finished structure here in the WXY, right, so when we consider this being finished, and you know how, you know, probabilities are low for me, in my opinion, for this to be multiple 1-2s and absolutely tank in a wave 3. I'm not buying it. You know, we either bounce here or we bounce here. That it's easy to position, it's easy to manage risk. Don't go too crazy. The only thing is that we've been so rangy, and this has the potential of being a finished structure, that the probabilities to come down to $80,000 are looking very attractive for the next coming weeks. And how fast will we come down there? That is the question. You know, do we tank there, you know, throughout the next couple of days? Well, if you are going to tank down there in the next couple of days, you need to fit in multiple 1-2s here, which does not look pretty as a multiple 1-2 structure. It makes more sense that this is a 5-wave move to the downside coming to its end stages. So it makes more sense based on how we came down here, that we do get this bounce at these specific levels that have been explained. Either the monthly point of control, naked point of control that is, to get a larger relief eventually in the next coming days. Either here, where we've been sitting at, or the SFP, which is where we have the value area low of the entire trading zone. So I am leaning that there is a good chance here to get a larger relief pump in the coming days, either from this level or either from this level with the value area low. Sweep up these lows. Naturally, we could be forming a flat here and then have the 5th wave in the next couple of days. So the idea here is, I do have it somewhere. There we go. Naturally, here is the 1-2. This is your 3rd wave. This fits in better for a flat, I have to say. It would, you know, just based on a bit of timing here for your wave 4. A flat makes sense. Wouldn't make too much sense that this is your 5th wave, even though it would be technically valid just because of the similarities of the wave 2 and 4 in timing. Wave 4 is slightly longer. I kind of prefer the flat and then move down and then move up than either this being the 5th wave territory and get a bigger bounce here in the next coming days, a larger correction bounce for a few days. So yeah, it's either the, maybe it could be the fifth wave in this zone, and then the bounce happens throughout the next coming days. You just form a little bit more of a rangy bounce, or the flat, and then take out the lows, and then finally take out those lows at the value area low, and then value area low is the one that gets the bigger bounce in the coming days. So a flat makes sense here as well. A flat makes sense here to finish your fourth, or a fifth wave. But regardless, getting a little bounce. It is bouncing. It is holding. I'm not going too crazy here at this level. Not going too crazy. Just because I would really consider double bottoms here as well. After this, especially after this bounce. Now this makes more sense right now. I would be very, very interested in the double bottom here. Because now it looks better. High volume, little bit of a squeezy bounce. Now it looks better for a 5 waver. Get that cheeky double bottom. You're gonna get people longing late, and then smack, and then you get the bigger relief. Still valid for the entry though. I mean, this is still valid because it, might just pump more than we think. I am attempting this in a smaller position, giving a bit of room for stop, but I think either wave 4, this being the wave 4, or we form a flat and then the wave 5 finishes later on in the coming days. Doesn't really matter. We are looking for a bounce in this region. Bounce here or SFP from here. Those are the levels. Those are the attempts. Let's go. Let's go. 89 could be nice for my longs. 89k. Okay, some people already aggressively. Trump doesn't talk, he only spits out diarrhea. Damn, Mark Touch, much love to you, brother. Make sure to set your stop loss. Exactly. Make sure to maintain risk management. Okay. Make sure to do so. I would be happy for a double bottom here, or rally from here. Doesn't matter. But I would be targeting these highs. The highs of today, basically, which could take a few, between today and tomorrow, maybe, depending on how much this wants to, dance around in this area. And double bottom, double, triple bottom or not, depends. But I would be targeting 90,500 as the first major target here for the bounce. But remember, this could still have a little bit of noise here. Could be a little bit noisy in the next couple of hours with local double bottom. Just understanding if it is going to be a flat and it is going to rally to the highs, ideally you have the 3-wave move. It's a little bit of a 3-wave down here, so ideally if it is going to be a flat, you move up impulsively here now in the next few hours to sweep up those highs. Good zone to enter, good zone to manage risk. Be aware that a double bottom here could happen. Manage risk accordingly, legends. Suzanne, much love. What if there is no bounce? Well, then I guess we'll have to look for a movement to the downside. You know, I really don't want this level to be successfully lost. So if this level is lost, I have to look for this zone for the bounce, which is this has been explained throughout today's stream. It's either you bounce from this level, and it could be a bit noisy and disturbing. Sometimes it is just better to I know we like 6-to-1, 5-to-1, 10-to-1 risk to reward trades, right? Sometimes we like those trades, but sometimes you need to stay a little bit real and look for a 2-3-to-1 risk to reward trade setup and get a bit of a breather for any local noise that you get. For the moment, I am going with the breather at the moment. A little bit of a breather here for any local noise. But remember that depending on what type of trade you're attempting, right, it's always nice to say, you know, look at my risk to reward. Be aware that there could be a little bit of noise here. Test the lows again. This trade, or either this one, should be the same in risk management. It should be the same 1% or even less, and this should be the same 1% as a loss. You know, even though but the risk to reward eventually is more attractive on this one. In this one you're making 5-6%, and this one you're making 2%, right? But the stop losses always need to be the same based on your risk management. So if I enter this long position here, and you know I have my stop loss down there, you know, I would go in more heavily with stop loss down here, but the same, you know, I'm happy to risk this amount to look for a bounce to hit these highs in the next 1 to 2 days maybe. But it's this, you know, I'm happy to risk this attempt, and you know, the stop loss, I'm happy with this stop loss being 1%, right, of my capital, well beneath the SFP. You know, some people sometimes don't understand the risk management based on, oh, this stop loss is very big, but you know, you just give it's less risk to reward, but it gives you a bit of a room. But you always need to risk the same amount, regardless if your stop loss looks like this, right? And maybe you're targeting a major reversal, but you know, let's be real, we are in a heavy downtrend at the moment. But regardless if your trade is like this or your trade is like this, right, your stop loss is like this, this needs to be the same amount that you're risking, regardless if you're using 100x or 50x or whatever. It doesn't matter. You need to be happy with what you lose if you hit certain levels as a 1% of your capital, right? Or 2%, right? When it gets to 3%, it's going aggressive. That's going aggressive already as a stop loss to lose 3% of your capital. I'm going in, yeah, giving it a chance. It's good support, man. This is good support. Been waiting for this level. And I know there could be a little bit of noise just because of how we came down to this level. There could be a little bit of noise. I understand that this could be a little cheeky fake bounce. It can be a cheeky fake bounce. I am aware, and I am kind of expecting that the lows are claimed again. Understanding on how we got down here from this high. So just being aware that because this has been the most aggressive rollover with high volume, this could be a little fake bounce and it rolls over in double bottoms. And this is the one that's going to get the rally. So yeah, I mean, let's see. Very, very strong level this is. Okay, it is a very, very solid level. Levels are there to be broken. Based on the structure, it wouldn't make sense for a successful breakdown, but based on how we are looking at what's going on around with all the tensions and everything, you always want to be aware. The most bearish case scenario would be 1 2 1 2 1 2, and it just ends up breaking down. You know, I don't favor this scenario, but it could be possible just based on where we are on the higher time frame. This could be a completed corrective structure and things are gonna like really go south, right? This is like finished. We've been trading in this boring uptrend bear flag for the last 3 months at the moment, right? And when we consider, let me just get this out of the way. You know, this is one of those moments where things can really start breaking down very aggressively, right? We broke the trend. Trend has been, you know, upper trend line has been broken. It's one of those where you like, you know, don't want to go too aggressive against the major trend on the higher time frame. Completed correction. Most brutal scenario would be multiple 1-2s, and this is just gonna absolutely tank tonight, right? So I don't want to play around too much. Don't want to play around. It is an awesome support. We could get that bounce. It's, you know, it's the major monthly point of control, daily level. I'm not favoring the multiple 1-2s, but I am aware of you know where we at on the higher time frame. Completed WXY, breaking trend, you know, big aggressive shorts could be entering here just to absolutely nuke the market. When you do take a look at the parabola here of this move, you know, it is accelerating. It is accelerating. So what bothers me about the multiple 1-2s is that usually your multiple 1-2s, you know, usually overlap from your wave 2s and your wave 1. They usually overlap before you get a wave 3. That's what's most common. And you don't have your third one, wave 1, and your wave 2 here being so much longer than your previous one. Your last wave 1 is the longest one, and that is not very common at all. So, you know, this is why it looks good maybe to not get that breakdown just as of yet. It looks okay. We've got solid support ending into a 5th wave at the moment, or in that 4th and 5th wave not getting developed yet. Makes sense. It does make sense based on how we got down here. But always, you always need to be aware of the danger eventually, right? Of, you know, where we at on the higher time frame. Finished WXY and breaking trend. Multiple 1-2s would be the only option here for that absolute tank that could happen, right, in the next couple of days, to absolutely nuke in a wave 3, and then volume just goes right, and it really takes the rollover here. One of those zones that you don't want to play around, just being very much aware of the solid breakdown, regardless of how strong the support is and how pretty it looks on the Elliott wave theory, that this might be the wave 5, wave 4 formation. We're looking for the reversal. It's good support. You know, always take into consideration the worst case scenario, right? What is the worst case scenario? How am I happy to manage risk here? You know, I'm happy to risk 1% on this shot to maybe gain 2% in the next couple of days. It's good support. I like how we came down here, but you always want to consider what is the worst case scenario, right? What if this is no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? You know, you're not ending your 4 and 5 here. You know, it's not happening here at support, at the value area low, the monthly point of control. What if we are not finishing here for this reversal and it tanks? You want to manage risk eventually for that. Don't go in too heavy. The bounce happens. Okay, great. Didn't make 20%, but I made 2%. I'm happy with that. And multiple 1-2s would be the most bearish, but it's not. This is not multiple 1-2 behavior. It's not multiple 1-2 behavior. But just where we at with the market conditions, and because this higher time frame WXY could be finished, your breaking trend, could this accelerate this? You know, could this curvature here, when we're taking a look at the parabola, where's that tool? How do you flip this around? You know, you do have a little bit of this accelerating a little bit. This is very, very typical before wave 3 happens. It is a bit, it has accelerated from this movement. But yeah, for this to be 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, your last 1 and 2 is the longest one from your previous ones. No overlap between your waves 1s and 2s. It's not common, so I'm leading on that we, you know, probably not going to break down aggressively. Is it possible? Absolutely. You always need to consider that danger on the higher time frame. Finish WXY, breaking the trend line, multiple 1-2. Yeah, it's not nice, but who cares? The market doesn't care if it's nice or not. And if it doesn't usually happen, well, maybe this is one of the days that it happens. Even though it's not usual, well, it's just where exactly we are on the higher time frame. It's like, if it needs to absolutely tank, I understand it could be here. Breaking trend, finish structure. You know, it's just one of those areas where you know that things could get messy. So support is there, support is valid. You just need to manage risk as you are happy to manage risk. Legends are going to wrap it up, okay? Much love to everybody. Thank you very much for joining. Bear flag still on. Yeah, the mythical bear flag is still on. The mythical bear flag is still on. As we mentioned a long time ago, right? Bear flag. We had the bear flag here. That didn't work out very well. We had the bear flag here. And we still got up here. Anyway, much love to everybody. Thanks for joining. Remember, if you want to join the community, daily updates, setups, Devil's been absolutely crushing it with the setups and updates today in the community. You have the link down below. We post every single day there. Send me a DM, okay? Don't bother with this. This is something that I got ready for the campaign that we're going to do in the next coming days. But send me a DM if you are interested for any information to join the trading community. Much love to everybody. Check out the links down below to support the channel and get the best promos out there. Bluffing BTCC with a 30% Thank you very much for joining today. Stay safe. Critical area. Where we at? I'm happy to see if we are going to, bottom out in this region SFP of those higher lows, or even bounce at this. We are reacting to it. We are trying. Stay safe. It could be a little bit noisy. Thank you for joining. I will see you tomorrow.